The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with a machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single-panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Seasons' Master League. I'm your host Vagish Gotslebhan, and it's yet another day which has been fueled by amazing people and how would I say, agencies, namely Omen by HP, HyperX, Intel. In fact, it has been presented to you by Nodwin Gaming and ESL.
Yes.
And joining me today is none other than my amazing, vivacious host, Angela.
That was such a fantastic opening. Thank you so much, Vagish. How are you doing today?
It's a fine day here today. In fact, today is one day where I'd like to bring to notice for everybody's benefit. The reason why I end up saying that my nick is Godslayer, but on the TV you see Gods, is because Kunal Singh, our production personnel, apparently he's too lazy to reduce the font size. So hence, ladies and gentlemen, what you will read is Vagish God's Bhan, but it's actually God's Slayer. If you have to blame anybody for it, it's Kunal Singh and his laziness. Now moving on. We have an amazing Clash Royale game. Angie, you wanna add on to that?
Yes, so today we're going to have Dipakk Mehta going up against Suteekshan. The good part about this game that I really want to bring into thing is that Dipakk is from Chennai and Suteekshan is from Jammu and Kashmir. So
and
we're
the
going to have
territories
North
of Leh
versus
Ladakh.
South. Yeah, Leh Ladakh. As you
Geography
mentioned.
101, Angie.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that because Dipakk Mehta is from Chennai, this is I think the first contender we have from Chennai, and I'm really excited to see how he performs. He was also there in the last year phase of the ESL India Premiership, and he's one of the top players of the ESL India Premiership. So let's first see who these two players are.
Mehudi. Yeah, in fact, let's
Mehudi.
quickly take a look at the first player in question here, Dipakk Mehudi Mehta. All right, well, that's Dipakk Mehudi Mehta. In fact,
Yes.
each time, sorry for that, each time I see Dipakk Mehudi Mehta specifically,
Yeah.
talking about the surname here, not to make fun, Deepak, all in good humor here. I don't know, like I randomly use stumble upon when I'm like bored.
Yeah.
So apparently there's a YouTube channel called Mania Ki Dunya. And
Okay.
that guy has basically, he's got like simple animated videos where he does like nice, funny voice
Yeah.
acting on them. So one of those sketches called Mehta Kuch Nahi Kehta. So there's a song called Oh Mehta Kuch Nahi Kehta Bas Chup
Pragesh is
Rehta.
doing his
So, yeah.
audio ritual right now.
Yeah. This is how I exercise the throat muscles here, the larynx and everything. But in fact, let's quickly take a look at Suteekshan and see what's happening there. Alrighty then. Well, that's Suteekshan there.
Yes.
Angie, a little bit about the likenesses of the players.
All right, so Suteekshan in-game name is Beast. We already have seen this player play 2 games as of now in the ESL India Premiership. He's won both of them, and if he actually wins this game today, it's going to be his 3rd victory. That puts him right on top on the board. And he also has a very big chance for coming to the Master League Grand Finale that we're going to be happening in July. If you talk about these 2 players and their picks and bans, I think Deepak, as we already know, he loves to play the Goblin Gang, the P.E.K.K.A, one of his 2 favorite cards. But Beast, on the other hand, he loves to play the Spear Goblins. And I think the Goblins in general are turned into the meta of Clash Royale for this year.
Or more than turned into the meta, they've been made into the
They're
meta.
made into the meta.
Like they've
You
been
see them in
force
every
fed
game.
into the system. No, this cannot be. And in fact, we have the bans also there, right?
Yes. So for now, if we talk about Deepak's favorite card, though, in general, his favorite card is the Bandit. But today he's opted to ban out the Goblin Gang for Beast. And meanwhile, Beast has gone ahead and banned the P.E.K.K.A. So we're going to see a very big P.E.K.K.A that has normally been played really well in this summer season, getting completely banned out. So I'm hoping to see Beast maybe opt to go and not let any other pick go rather than the Golem, because we saw the Golem being played really well in the last 2 games. I'm hoping to see whether the Golem gets played in this round also, or are they going to go with the 3 Musketeers, which we saw recently 2 players play. So that would be my analysis. There's not really much I could say about these 2 players. They're very versatile with their decks. Beast has always played very versatile, so I can't really judge what kind of gameplay he's going to have.
In fact, you would be able to once when we see the game.
Definitely,
Yeah?
definitely.
So let's quickly head off
Excited.
into the game and see what's in store for us. This amazing Clash Royale game between Dipakk Mehudi Mehta and Suteekshan, getting casted by none other than our very own heavyweight, weighing God knows how many pounds, is Manoj Super XL Gola.
To the ESL India Premiership's daily stream, and Vagish, thank you for that awesome intro, man. But you just didn't have the heart to tell them how much I really weigh, huh? Speaking of heavyweights, we do have 2 heavyweights here today playing Clash Royale against each other. We have Dipakk Mehudi Mehta and Suteekshan Beast. Mehudi, although his career in the ESL India Premiership has been a little up and down, he's been knocked out of the Master League for a few seasons. He's been down to the Challengers League. He had to play the relegation, and he has made it back all the way to the land finale at Delhi. But that's all in the past now. It's a new year, it's a new Premiership, new format, like with the ban cards and everything. And that's going to give us quite a few interesting games, if I'm not wrong. So the first game of the day, since we're already a minute into the game, I guess I should start talking about the game now. We see pretty much meta decks being played by both the players right now. Looks like Mehudi is playing a Golem deck with a Prince Pusher, and a rocket and a hurricane for good defense, and maybe a little bit of chip damage using the rocket. But I guess Beast has decided to go with an oldie but a goodie. He is playing the graveyard slash poison combo with the Mega Minion and Evis for defense, and looks like Royal Guards are going to be cannon fodder, especially since Mehudi has the Dark Prince. A good placement of the Royal Guards right there, making sure the Dark Prince will not be able to bash them and use his splash damage against them. But however, the golem that Mehudi has let go of has reached the tower and brought it down to more than less than half HP. But that's not too bad of news though. Beast himself has been able to push Mehudi's tower down to 1062 HP, but we have entered double elixir time, and that means heavier decks will have the bigger advantage now. And right now looks like the heavier deck belongs to Dipakk right there, with his golem, rocket and Dark Prince. Again, one more golem coming out from Mehudi. He heads straight for the Goblin Hut, which is proving to be quite a problem for it right now. I think he only got one hit off onto the Goblin Tower. The second hit and the suicide damage has brought it down. But then again, he hasn't been able to reach his Princess Tower or do much damage. We see Mehudi trying desperately to defend the right side of his lanes using the Baby Dragon, who has not even seen the other side of the board apparently. So it's been a long story of rinse and repeat because the golem has been coming to this side, has been being distracted by the Goblin Hut, being destroyed before it even reaches the tower. Now that Beast has wisened up to the fact that Mehudi has a golem in his deck, and looks like he's going for a slight push on the right. He's used his poison graveyard combo, bringing the tower down quite a bit, and yeah, one more hit from the Mega Minion and it goes down. Beast wins the first round with, now the score is 1-0. So arguably Beast has stayed in the Masters recently for far longer than Mehudi has, so I guess he's a little bit more used to the pressures of this tournament, or league I should say rather. And you know what, I'm very anxious to see what happens in this matchup, so we're going to jump straight into... I just combined straight and right into one word, so we're going to jump straight into game 2. And Beast has switched up his deck a bit. He's using a Flying Machine, and Mehudi also has switched up. I see an Elixir pump in his deck, and a Prince. Okay, Beast expends his Fireball to bring down Mehudi's Elixir character to the trade HP. Mehudi is only going to be able to get maybe 3 Elixir out of the pump, but Beast has sacrificed his Fireball for it. So yeah, so Mehudi is playing the Double Prince push deck, and Beast is playing the Bridge Spam / Hog Cycle deck with a Flying Machine. And we've seen in the past few days, and I think Angela would agree with me, that the Flying Machine has been very, very powerful in the past matchups, especially in the ESL India Premiership. Again, so he uses his Flying Machine as a defensive maneuver, and it locks on to the right target. Wow, even though I thought the Baby Dragon was closer to it, it managed to actually shoot the Prince and bring him down. Tactical Hog placed on the left by Beast. It's going to reach the tower, but thanks to Mehudi's Tornado, it's going to activate his King Tower, giving him that little bit of extra defense, and things just got a lot tougher for Beast right there. Now he has to concentrate all his resources on defending this golem push on the right. He wants to distract it using a tombstone. He's pretty successful, even though Mehudi has zapped some of his skeletons. The new ones that have just spawned are enough to bring the golem down. And it looks like with the help of the Flying Machine, none of the golemites are going to reach the tower. Good news for Beast right there. And again, he lets go of a Hog. And are we going to see a Tornado? No. Mehudi does not have a Tornado ready, and because of that, the Hog was able to get quite a few series of hits off onto Mehudi's tower and bring it completely down. But whoa, look at this extreme calculated moves that Beast is doing right now. He's managed to completely defend the 2 Prince push down there on the left from Beast. He's only taken about 1000 HP of damage from the tower. That is a lot more than what I would have given away. I probably would have lost the tower, even though I was playing a deck as good as this. Again, another Hog let go of by Beast, being held back by Mehudi's Tornado. And these two princes are bashing down onto the hog, basically killing it, and it only got one hit off onto the tower. Again, wonderful defense by Beast right there. He has managed to completely stop Mehudi's push for now. We'll just have to wait and see if that is enough. Oh wow, look at that. Amazing placements of tombstones right there. Amazing timings. Even the prince wasn't able to get his hit off onto the tombstone since the skeleton has spawned. And 5 seconds left. I think Beast is taking this one as well. I think the score is going to be 2-0. Yes, it is. Wow. That's surprising. Like, Beast is showing Mehudi who's boss right now. So the score is 2-0. Congratulations, Beast. Mehudi must be really feeling the pressure right now since, you know, he's 2-0 down. And we'll have to wait and see if Mehudi manages to come back or Beast is going to completely sweep him 3-0. Man, that has to be embarrassing for a veteran such as Mehudi right there. So, but before we jump into Game 3, I just like to take a moment of your time to give it a shout out to our sponsors, our title sponsor, Omen by HP. We also have to thank HyperX, Intel, ESL India, and of course us good folks at Nordwind Gaming. You know, me, Vagish, Angela, Kunal in production, everybody who brings this wonderful esports to you daily live at 6 p.m. And having said that, let's see if Game 3 changes the story with a twist ending. Maybe Mehudi comes back with a victory. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's a 3-0 humiliation sweep done by Beast. And it looks like Beast has switched back to his graveyard poison deck, and Mehudi is using a freeze card. Now that's one card that we have not seen almost at all in the Premiership, at least in the stream matches. We'll have to wait and see if it works out for them. So 30 seconds in, only Beast has played a log before putting down his Goblin Hut, and with that he has revealed what kind of deck he has to Mehudi, and Mehudi is still bleeding Elixir. He's just waiting for a good time to drop his Fireball. Okay, that could have been done quite a bit of time ago. He bled maybe 6 or 7 extra Elixir just because he waited for such a long time. So he's playing the hog deck with the freeze, so he wants to spam everything at the bridge, and when they reach the target or the defensive units that Beast puts down, he wants to use the freeze to get past them, I'm guessing. We'll just have to wait and see if it works out. He lets go of the hog here on the left. He has an elixir pump too, so this is a pretty strange deck. I haven't seen the likes of it in quite a while. Well, for now it looks like Mehudi is doing the pushing since Beast's Princess Tower is at 1478 HP. We'll have to just hope that Mehudi will be able to overcome this uphill battle. Since he's 2-0 down, he must be feeling the pressure because, you know, everybody wants a Game 4 and a Game 5. 3-0 sweeps are fun for the victor, but not for anybody else. So again, Mehudi puts down his exo character, immediately answered by a graveyard from Beast and a poison as well. It's going to kill both the set of minions right there and the elixir character, but that's it, I guess. It only does about 500 damage to the tower. So last minute of elixir. Arguably, the pump cards do get a little bit weak in the last minute when you don't have a pump that is already up and running if you're entering the last minute of the elixir. I think Beast will be able to take use of that, especially since Mehudi's latest hog hasn't been able to do much damage to the tower. 1277 HP left on the tower of Beast right there on the left, but he wants to concentrate all his damage on the right, I see. He's building up for a huge push, uses his graveyard and poison combo almost immediately off the bat as soon as the ice golem crosses the tower, and look at the amount of damage that it has done. Just it brought it down from more than 2/3 of its HP to 379, and that should be quite a reachable target, especially since if you can rotate to your poison and graveyard soon enough, which is what I think is going to happen. Beast is going to defend this left side of his by distracting the hog with his Goblin Hut, and look at the amount of HP that this Goblin Hut has, man. Okay, 195 HP left. That's more than enough for a poison to bring it down. Looks like Mehudi has given up already, giving the LOL emote right there. Good bit of sportsmanship coming out from both players. Congratulations, Beast. That was a crisp, clear and fast 3-0 victory. I see Angela has already run back to the studio and she's ready. So in my opinion, looks like Dipakk Mehta has just been out-drafted and outplayed by Beast right there, because I haven't seen either player make many mistakes. It's just that Suteekshan was able to create more opportunities just because of the card matchups. We'll see what Angela has to say in the studio. We'll be right back, guys. So just stay tuned.
Well, the beast has finally made its
Awoken?
hunt successful.
Yes, I think you would say the beast is finally awake.
No,
No?
that
Okay, that's not how
sounds
it
wrong
works.
on so many levels, Angie. Let's not push that big red button there.
Okay. Well,
No, but what an amazing game there by Suteekshan
yeah.
Beast Joshi. In fact,
very confident gameplay.
I think of late we haven't seen a clear victory. We have at least seen
Yes.
the opposition win at least one round.
True.
This is one of those
True.
few occasions where you see a clean slate coming off. And I think Super XL is right about the fact that it was not just about getting out-drafted or, how would I say,
Outplayed.
It had more to do with the fact that Dipakk Mehta got outsmarted.
I think more than outsmarted, I'd have to agree with Manoj on the fact that Beast has been playing the ESL India Premiership for so long that he comes in very confident with the experience that I know what I'm going to do and what my actual lineup is to execute. Like if we watch the first game in very clear cut, he went with the Graveyard and the Poison, and it's normally not like that. Most players like to maybe pick up a big card, like a big elixir card, with the Golem, the Three Musketeers or something like that. He didn't even take the Hog in the first round. He kind of just went with the Goblin Heart, the Graveyard and the Poison, and that kind of really helped him out a lot. But we saw Dipakk reply to that with a Golem, with a Dark Prince. He kind of was a little worried on how it was really going to fare out for him. And Dipakk taking that first loss was not because his cards were wrong. It was just that Suteekshan just had a beautiful defense coming in. He used the tomb so well against the Dark Prince and the Prince that they really couldn't reach the tower. And I wouldn't say that Dipakk made a mistake. I would just say that Suteekshan just played way better. In the second game, we saw him opt for the Flying Machine, the Tomb again, the Hog Rider. And this time he noticed that though he picked up the Hog Rider, maybe there was a defense coming in there from Dipakk. He did play the Tornado card. He shifted the Hog to the main tower. Now again, that is not a fault coming in from Beast. That was just Dipakk playing better. And the minute Beast realized that, okay, he knows how to counter my Hog, in the third game, he completely switched back to his previous deck, which kind of worked for him, the Graveyard and the Poison. He went for the Goblin Heart, normal defense, because he realized that most of the players in the ESL India Premiership, they always revolve around one particular card, which is really high elixir. So rather than taking a card that will counter it on a very high scale, he takes a lot of smaller cards. Like you have a 1 elixir card, a 2 elixir card that he can keep spamming and making his defense really strong. And I would just have to say that in Clash Royale, if you have a great defense, it is your best offense, because you have already got in everything that he could counter you with, and then you just push him with whatever remains. And when he plays a card like the Goblin Hut, what happens is the goblins are just continuously going to come out and do chip damage on the tower, and chip damage in this meta fits beautifully well. And I think that's why, even though the Goblin Gang was banned out, I don't think it affected Beast in any way.
Alrighty then, meticulously put there. We'll take a short break here. On the other side, we have Counter-Strike Global Offensive lined up, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is the ESL India Premiership 2018, brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented to you by Nodwin Gaming and ESL.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers. The professional tier, the Master League. The semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series. The open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League going on. And what we just witnessed some time ago was Clash Royale, where the beast, Suteekshan, my man from
Jammu and Kashmir.
And?
Leh Ladakh.
Yes! 100 points to Angela. And Beast won the Clash Royale game. And right now we're in the thick of things here. Right now in the middle of the hullabaloo for today. Counter-Strike Global Offensive lined up for you guys. A very interesting game. And all of this brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel. And of course, presented to you by Northern Gaming and ESL.
Yes.
And now moving on, we have a very interesting game lined up. So before we head into what's happening and what's not going to happen, let's really take a look at both the teams first. Let's take a look at ATE Gaming. All right, Kappa and gang there. That's Team ATE Gaming now. In fact, let's quickly, without wasting any further time, let's quickly first take a look at the opposition, the glorious Brutality. Alrighty then, well that's Team Brutality. Now we have clarity on the fact which 2 teams are going to be having a showdown against each other. That's ATE Gaming versus Brutality. Now, before we head off to the map pick veto, very interesting lineup. Brutality and ATE Gaming. In fact, Kappa and Krish make a very, very good combo.
That's true.
Now, considering first of all the fact that Adi is not here in the house today, apparently he's fallen sick.
Yeah.
So it's up to us, divine intervention, the powers having granted to us to analyze this game and break it down. So for the benefit and humor of ESL in ESL India Premiership 2018, we'll do it. No, but on a very serious note, basis on previous games which ATE has played, not really a lackluster performance, but they're pretty much there. They're one of the top contenders if you look at it.
I think 11th on the board as of now.
Yeah, but again, still remember, it's a long Masters League. When I say that they are one of the contenders, you never know. Kappa is known to overturn games. Krish is usually found in very good clutch situations. And that's... See, ATE plays on individual skills predominantly as a team. Yeah. Whereas when you look at Brutality, they're more strat-based team. They recently acquired Fox and A-Star. This is predominantly their old lineup, as Adi likes to put it. That's before Adi joined Brutality. And now Team Brutality is a very, how would I say, is it wrong to call them a very Gujarati team?
I wouldn't say that.
I'll tell you why. Because everybody has their own individual scenes. Like Juventa has his own business, and they all take out time for good Counter-Strike to play with the people they like playing. It's more or less like it's been maintained over the course of years.
I think Brutality has always been more of a family. We've been
exactly. That's the word I was fetching for.
Even though I'm not really a CS:GO player, as a lot of people know, I have always followed this team because they've always kept their mark up high. They've always seen to it that they're very professional. And now that I've seen A-Star and Fox come back into the roster, I've not really watched a lot of games of theirs, but I'm really excited to see how this particular fair would work out, because ATE, as we know, they were predominantly one of the most famous teams in the country. And then we have Brutality also, who are considered one of the most famous teams in the country. And I've also heard that Brutality likes to really change things in the late phases of games.
Well, not really change things, but Brutality has been known and renowned as the comeback team, one of the teams which have been known and renowned in the Indian history of Counter-Strike Global Offensive as a team which makes excellent comebacks. True. I mean, they have one of the best toppers in their roster. They have Rix there, no doubt about it. No absolute doubt about it. And my production has just informed me that while we were bantering about both these teams, the map pick veto has occurred. So let's quickly take a look at what's in store for us. So as we can see, Cash and Cobble were banned by Brutality, and also Nuke were banned by Nuke was banned by ATE. Okay, so my feed is slightly my feed is slightly goofed up here. So Train was also banned by Brutality, I was informed, and Nuke, Mirage, and which other map is this? I cannot see. Angie, can you see this? Oh yeah, Overpass. Nuke, Mirage, and Overpass got banned by ATE Gaming. That left us with Inferno. Now it's a very interesting thing to see that Brutality is not playing on a map like Cash. They outrightly banned it. They did not want to play on it. And Mirage coming as a ban from ATE Gaming says a lot about the fact that both these teams are in here for blood. Because I'll tell you a little bit. Good thing for you also, Angie, because you're joining me for CSGO and sitting with Adi for countless number of CSGO games. I've realized one thing. So predominantly good fact is also the fact that Mirage is a more puggy map, more aim-based map, and they know Brutality and a person like Rix is not to be trifled with. Let's move that map out of the equation, because if you see tides turning against your favor, you know that it's the bad draft of the map to be picked. And Inferno is a more strat-based map. You predominantly have to acquire genuinely acquire control of either the apartments or the banana. In fact, while we're at, let's quickly take a look at the map first. Let's take a look at Inferno.
Inferno. This map is not like any other traditional CSGO map. It does not revolve heavily around mid-control. The two most important areas of control are the apartments and banana. You lose control of either one of these areas and you're going to have a bad time.
All right, so like I was talking about before we headed off into the map description there, very important and essential to establish control over banana and studio, what am I saying, studio, apartments.
Yeah.
I'm in a studio, so I'm like studio. It's very important to establish control over banana and apartments, because essentially banana, because rotation becomes way too easy for you, or to fake a bomb site becomes way too easy for you. And apartments genuinely also for the same, pretty similar reasons altogether. In fact, without wasting any further time, I'm informed that the server is up and the players are ready.
Who are you rooting for? That would be my one question to you before we get into this game.
Yes, tell me.
I think who would be the one team that you're rooting for between Brutality and ATE?
I will root for Brutality for the simple reason, very simple reason, because okay, let's understand the dynamics here. This is Inferno. This is not a pug style map where aim-based mechanics will help you. Yeah. You have to really think your way through. You have to double think your way through. We've seen teams come back from 16-5 on this very map and take over the game and end it on one mistake. They encashed one mistake. That's all it takes. So a good strat. Brutality is a very well-renowned team to utilize good strategy, good calls, and good rotations. These guys know their rotations absolutely and vehemently well. And if they utilize their basic team instinct, their basic team ideologies and practices, I'm pretty sure this game is pretty much set and done in Brutality's favor. So I'll go with Brutality this time.
All right. I'm also going to go with Brutality
because you're friends with Ankit Venom Pant.
No, I'm actually friends with the whole team, but Brutality did it because I've just followed them for a longer time.
Bull. I refuse to believe it. You just said Brutality because I analyze that Brutality is going to win. No, that is why Angie is piggybacking on my excellent analysis.
I just know all of the players in the team. I'm not analyzing CS. It's not my game.
My shining analysis is the reason why you're piggybacking on it, Angie.
Definitely. Your shining analysis. I'm going to tell Adi that it was your shining analysis that brought
Adi is going to be like, there was nothing. Adi is like, it was always going to be Brutality. There's no doubt. You ask Adi in any Brutality match, he will go for Brutality. I think deep down inside, even though he's an analyst, he's doing so well with the ESL, the agency ESL and Nordwin. I think deep down inside, he's still a Brutality player. He is still a
Once a
brutality player, and
Brutality, I guess always
that's something
Brutality.
I'm saying this on social media live. Aditya Adisha, irrespective of whatever happens tomorrow, he's 70, 75, 80, he'll still, somewhere deep inside his heart, still end up being a brutality player. And I think that's what sets him and sets the entire scene for the team.
Yeah.
La Familia, like they say. It's a family, one big family. So on that note, let's quickly head over to the game. I've been informed that Fett is not going to be joining us. Yes! No, I'm just kidding. Sadly, Fett is not going to be joining us. We are going to be joined by Mamba Senior, Senior Snake Mamba. And of course, my favorite caster, the guy with the how would I say, the sexy voice of CS:GO in India, none other than Sudan Blair Waingbam. Over to you, gentlemen. Over to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ranjit Mamba Senior Patel, and welcome to another day, another matchup in the ESL India Premiership. And alongside me, I have a man who needs no introduction at all. The man, the myth, and the legend, Sudan Blair Waingbam. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you for having me. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've casted some Indian Counter-Strike. It's always yummy, isn't it? Like tasty, a lot of masala, a lot of action, and it is a cracker of a game. It's like one hell of a game. It's going to be ATE. Pretty old school name, pretty famed name. Yeah, they're going to be facing off against Brutality, and yeah, this is some big names facing off. Yeah.
It's two huge names there, but two teams which have been around for a very long time. It's looking like it's going to be a mid-take coming in from the Terry side, and look at that. Everyone just walking in. Juventus is going to find the first frag. Hellfighter again, get the refrag as well. Rix again, get the refrag. So it's just refrags coming from both sides. It's going to be Foxy though going in towards A bomb side. Falling back, being spotted right there, trying to survive. He's going to find the first hit shot on the Kappa. Will get traded really quickly though by Hellfighter. It is going to be Venom on the backside. Spotting the first guy. He's going to miss a lot of shots, and look at that though. That should not have happened. Venom, he should really hit those, but he's going to fall back though. A 2v2 situation. The bomb has not been planted. They do not have to peek, but they are still going to go in for that two-man push with the CZ and the USP, and the bomb is finally going to go down. So it's going to be really interesting to see if the series can actually pull this off. And Ace are whiffing a lot of shots, but doing a lot of damage as well. But when I'm trying to find the last frag, it is going to be Ace who's going to finish him off, and that is going to be the first round coming up for Team Brutality.
The Team A is coming in, and I've seen Venom play a lot of So Strong next games, a lot of pugs, and I'm not surprised he whiffed that. That was a free kill. There was a player who was planting, another one who was looking completely the wrong direction. So a little bit of a hiccup, but they win the round. They keep both the players alive. They should be pretty happy with the way that played, but that panned out. ATE, they're not wasting any time. Just kind of a fast take, interesting stuff coming out from the. I'm not sure who Ryder is. Really haven't heard of him, but of course Krish. It's great for me to see him playing after so very long, right? Especially since ESL said, yeah, if you've had your ban for 2 years, you can play. So it's pretty cool to see him on board. Kappa, Hellfighter, Buster, a pretty interesting lineup, so to speak. I wouldn't have expected this lineup a few months back, but it's almost like I wouldn't call them rejects, but more like outsiders teaming up together. They are pretty promising. Like you have Kappa, who's always been a solid support-like player, can pretty much do anything. Then we have Hellfighter, who used to play in the Kolkata team. Yeah, G outfits exactly. Was always solid. Buster, he's played in so many teams I've lost track. Krish, pretty well-known rider. Not much of a clue about him, to be honest. And they have gone for a full eco, just a few P250s, a Deagle in the mix. They'd be looking to just barrel out of apartments and try and get the bomb down. It's going to be Juventa and Rix to do the brunt with heavy lifting. When Juventa's looking the right direction, they're waiting for something. They don't have any utility, so they're going to have to dry peek out. That's going to get a little ugly. But 25 bullets, that's all he has to work with. And here comes the action. They come charging in. Nice jump there, but Juventa mowing everyone down. Rix is going to join the party, and it is an absolute slaughter. Buster's going to be the last player. And he will at least find Juventa, but just the UMP lost. Not much sweat off the back of Brutality. And for ATE, buy time.
Oh, that's true. And also, by the way, they have actually added a new player as well. That is Deathmaker. I think he was playing for GMD back in the day. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the new lineup pans out, because he did, the manager did mention the fact that they're going to add 2 new players. It's going to be Deathmaker and one of the old school guys. So I'm not quite sure who the other guy is. But yeah, I've seen Hellfighter play as well. And Ryder is actually subbing in for Reds today. But yeah, again, I haven't seen Ryder play a lot either. So this is a little confusing for me. But well, the Terry said they are going to force it up because they got the C4 down in the first round and went in for the complete eco in the last round. So they are going to have the weapons to work with. And it looks like it's the default that's going to come in Buster towards Banana. And Foxy along with the teammate that is Venom playing the B bomb side. So it's a pretty simple setup coming in from both the teams. 2 guys towards B, 3 towards A bomb side, 2 guys watching the cross and 1 inside the bomb side. But the flash is pouring in towards the B bomb side. Buster is not going to spot Foxy. This is pretty surprising, and Foxy is still going to get traded out. It's going to be Venom though getting the headshot onto Krish. Will fall back. Still a man advantage to the CD side, so it is going to be a little bit difficult for the Terrace side. Not really having a lot of resources to work with, and the weapons are still decent, having 2 AK-47s to try and go in for those entries, but they have to force in the rotation to be able to cut it off, because at this point this looks a little too tough for the Terrace side.
Yeah, they do. Brutality have opted to turtle into the bomb sites, playing the 2-2 setup, which is fair enough. Although it does leave archway open, so that's a big gamble. And AT not really opting to go for the flank, for the wraparound through CD spawn. Instead, they're going to be committing here, which could be a problem. A-Star with the M4. The Molotov is good. He's going to get forced out from his position. He does for a few bullets, not able to quite connect. As Venom does find Kappa. That was a 3v2. As A-Star trying to go for the wall bang, won't quite hit anyone, although I do believe it was pretty close. Ryder takes the fight, he wins it, and all of a sudden it's now a 2v2. I'm not too sure why A-Star had to go for that fight. It was a 3v2. He had the man's advantage on for his team, the man advantage rather, and yet he takes the fight and makes it in 2v2. However, Rix has no trouble pushing in. A little bit of miss comes to the flashbang, leaving all the Hellfighter, but he will be caught out. Rix getting 2 crucial kills, but that could have been a little messy. The post plant's a little awkward for ATE after getting the bomb down, especially with the second last guy who died. But A-Star peeking in that 3v2 is something which I'm personally not a big fan of.
Well, that's true though, and one of the things that I was surprised about was the fact that when they did get the pick on A-Star towards construction, they could have probably gone try and taken the control inside construction as well, because they had absolutely no information towards Banana. So that is something that the Terrace side could have done to try and salvage that round, but did not work out. A-Star making a mistake, but somehow his team still manages to win the round. Rix getting 2 frags right there. And Hellfire, it's probably the lack of experience. His positioning was really awkward. He was in a very bad spot, being exposed by 3 different angles, Banana, CT, and constructions at the same time, hiding behind a pillar. So, well, that is just going to be a little too unfortunate for ATE starting up on the Terrace side. It's not the most ideal start to work with, because you want to have that first gun round going in your favor. Now it's just going to be 2 more rounds going down the drain, hopefully. And because we've seen Indian teams and we've been ranting about this for I don't even know how long, and playing anti-ecos is not something that the Indian teams are very good at. So it is going to be interesting to see. But in the meantime, Krish is going to go down to Foxy. It is going to be Asa trying to find some sort of information. Is going to be playing the cubby, playing pretty aggressive though. He has no one to back him up. So this is a pretty ballsy play coming in from him.
No one to back him up, and it is again little. I rather not. You don't risk. I don't want you to risk your rifles, especially against these pistols, but nice flashbangs. They have a plan in mind here. Juventa has given himself away. He will drop into pit as Rix is spraying and mowing people down. He's going to find 2. Juventa hasn't found anyone yet, as Rix doing a lot of work, but he is very low indeed. Juventa is going to join the party. Last player is going to be Ryder Race on fine. So flawless round, pretty solid round for Brutality, considering that ATE had a play in mind. They had purchased a few pistols, a little bit of Kevlar and some utility, because they had, I think, that 3rd round loss bonus, plus they got the bomb money as well, right? So overall, pretty solid hole, keeping all players alive. They need to start building up an economy, which is looking really solid right now for Rix. He's got 9k, an average of 6,000 A-Star, and on Venom, Foxy and Juventa a little on cash. But it's CD side Inferno, right? CD side, you want to have a solid bang. Even if you do lose 1 round, you can always bounce back. And Ryder opening things up, he will find Venom. Aggression coming out from the CTs, but Kappa and Ryder denying them anything. That's gotta hurt. I like what Brutality did there, but ATE ready and waiting. And all of a sudden, with 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock, it's 3v5.
Yeah, they did try the right thing though, trying to catch the opposition off guard, but it didn't really work out. It's gonna be Asa though, all alone towards the B bomb side. Will have to do a lot of work trying to defend the bomb side all alone, and we still have Foxy who's going to be on the rotation, so realizing that it might just be a B play, and we have Rix all alone towards the B bomb side. So the C4 is going to creep up towards Banana along with his teammates, and one of the lurkers, it's actually going to be Hellfighter towards all mid. So yeah, this is going to be interesting to see if Ryder can find the pick onto Asa, but he's going to be going in really slowly, trying to trust his teammates right there, watching the CD base. The smokes are going to go out as well, but the Molotov not allowing the AWP to go out, and Foxy is in a really good position. Asa just being pushed out by the Molotov right there, and he might just hit one. So he's going to try and find the first and gets the second as well. What is even happening? But Ryder with the refrag coming in, they are going to get the control of the bomb site. It's going to be Rix all alone in a 1v3. Can he pull this off, though? That is going to be the question. He's just going to wait it out. He might just as well get spotted, and Ryder with the 3k. Getting the first pick, getting the trade as well really quickly. Even though Asa managed to somehow find those 2 frags, lining them up. And well, he's going to find the last frag onto Rix as well. So the scoreline, the first round coming in for AT Gaming on the Cherry side. So it is pretty interesting, the op, working out. And the push, though, from Brutality. Even though, it was an interesting push. And I liked it as well because they tried to catch the opposition off guard. But it just didn't work out. And finally, Rix is going to go in for the op as well. So this is going to be interesting to see if Rix aggresses out towards apartments or maybe just goes in towards alt mid and try and get that opening frag. But Ryder is playing without any sort of fear right there, going in towards mid. Being in the middle of nowhere, and Rix trying to go in for the pick towards off mid is not going to be able to find that. And Kappa might just get exposed if Rix actually peeks out. But Ryder just playing really, taking things really slowly and holding that angle off towards archers from mid. And you enter playing the cart. So yeah, it again looks like a pretty slow round coming from both teams.
Yeah, one thing that Brutality at least doing, since they're not going for any banana control, the fact that they at least have some control of brackets towards mid is at least commendable. But this is a setup they've had, I think, at least a couple of rounds, and on the anti-eco they tried the same setup where Rix and Juventa have this crossfire setup. This can be rough because you can get overrun and you can get caught off guard because you have no eyes towards mid, right? And now Rix peeking out a little wide, trying to gather a little bit of information. It's a very risky spot. He's got to hit that flick if someone does come out from Boiler. And here comes Buster with the spoken. Buster unfortunately peeks out and will get taken down. And Rix immediately tossing in flashbacks and re-peek out again. Goes to the flick shot, goes wide. That was a little surprising for him. Juventa finds Kappa, but a quick trades come in, and now Asa's got to go big, and he will get taken down, pushing it through the smoke, trying to make something happen. And now it is a 3v2. Venom is waiting at the edge of the smoke, waiting for backup to arrive in the form of Foxy. It looks like the nade sailing and taking a chunk out from Venom. It looks like it's going to be round number 2. The call for the save has rung out. And if you look at the money as well, they can still kind of afford to buy in the next round. A-Star can probably buy for himself. Venom and Foxy can drop a couple of weapons. At least Foxy can. Venom can, because he's got that incendiary and that flashbang. So he doesn't really have to buy up all the utility. He can drop maybe UMP to one of his teammates. So can Foxy. So a pretty good call coming out. But again, right, Mamba, like you see that setup coming out from Brutality, and it was rough. You might get the opening pick, but the second you get taken down, you're going to get overrun. That site's going to get overrun. And I'm not a big fan of that particular hole. And A-Star, again, it's a 3v, I do believe it's a 3v3. He pushes in through the smoke, trying to prevent the plan of making something happen. Instead, if he could just held back a little bit, waited for his teammates to arrive, it could have been 3v3 retake. It could be just sticking around, just, floating around, gathering information, and he could have made something happen. But yeah, this is just unfortunate.
Yeah, he has been making a few questionable plays in this matchup. We saw a few mistakes being made, and it was not the first one, by the way. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it actually pans out. But Rix, I was quite surprised by the way he, went in through the Molotov. I mean, that deep Molotov was not at all needed, and that is how he got taken out. And it was quite kind of uncharacteristic as well. He missed out on that shot. But in the meantime, Buster is going to get taken down by Venom, going in for that aggression towards Banana and barely surviving on 8 points of health. And it is going to be Foxy. He's just going to wait it out really, really casually. And all the rotation is going to go in towards A-bomb side. And they have absolutely no idea that the C4 is still towards the T-base. So, well, the T side just trying to take some sort of control towards apartments and get some sort of information going in their favor. But it is going to be Crash leading the charge, taking things really slowly. No one to trade him out at this point if he peeks out, but that is not going to happen. A pretty ballsy play, though, to be honest, in my opinion. He's still trying to go and find that information, but he's not going to spot anyone. And the flashbang being thrown out as well, so might as well get taken. Now he's going to get spotted, and the CD almost find the frag onto him. It is going to be Rix, though. The Molotov going in, and one of them is actually going to fail. I think it was Juventa who failed his Molotov. And when I'm just waiting down with the CZ75, this is kind of surprising. He actually paused his M4 to his teammate right there. A pretty good decision, to be honest. And it is going to be an A-take coming up. Rix inside the pits, and Kappa trying to fake towards the B-bomb. So he's going to be falling back as well, so not allowing the rotation to go in. But Christian can find the first frag, and look at that A-stack hit 2 frags right there. Is going to spray both of them down. Can he get the third one as well? Ryder is going to get spotted, almost being taken down, barely surviving, but he still has 60 points of health to work with. Venom still going to find the frag on 8 points of health. This is something that should not be happening. But A-star getting the third one onto Kappa and saving the round up for Team Brutality.
Yeah, I really like the setup from Brutality. They played it safe. They had 2 players total in the site. But the one thing which I noticed from the way AT were playing there was the fact that they kind of, you know, had to kind of committed to that play when they had no idea how many players were playing, whether it was a crossfire. They really didn't sell the fake towards B either. They just tossed in, I think, one flash or one smoke towards B. That's it. So, you know, they kind of walked in without much information into the bomb sites, right? They just went in kind of dry, and that proved to be their bane. That's a round. If they had won, they could have broken the economy for Brutality. Instead, it's their turn to get broken. They have a couple of three CZs, a couple of Deagles, but again, you can see money, you know, just saving it for the next round. So let's see what they do here. And here they come charging in. Buster finds A-Star. He was all alone. Venom does trade, though. He can find another kill. Instead, he's going to fall back, but he's going to cut out in the open. And this is complete utter chaos. Juventa will fall, and that's how you lose the bomb site. 2v3, but look at the health of ATE.
It's Buster on 1 point of health, right on 5, and the only guy who has 100 points of health is Kappa. So this is very doable for the CTs, but there's bait setup right now. This 2-man setup towards the, it's called the cover. Never mind. But it's gonna be Foxy coming in. Buster is gonna get taken down. But look at that, the Rider is still gonna find the frag on 5 points of health, still not being taken down, wasting a lot of time. And the nade is gonna come sailing, and Rex is going to fall back, but he's still going to find the headshot onto Rider in a 1v1. Can he pull this off though? It is gonna be Kappa. Is gonna get spotted, almost being taken down by. It is gonna be Kappa, being the saving grace for Team AD and getting the round. And I almost forgot what the place was called. But yeah, that just happens sometimes, and it actually happened to me yesterday as well. So do you have any stories, Blair, where this happened to you?
Yeah, many times. It has happened to me. But that is, that's the way it goes. I do like the fact that the two players who were very low, they're playing, like you mentioned earlier, we just mentioned it right now, they had the bait setup going for them. And on top of that, they did a lot of work. They knew they were expendable, and they just tried to, delay for as long as possible while Cap was playing from the side. So AT making it work in Brutality. That A bomb side has a lot of holes. It's like a Swiss cheese of a defense. And that could be problematic later on. Now Ryder, he is trying to find something. He's got back up in the form of his teammate. Nate's gonna sail in deep. A-Star's waiting, lurking, holding the line. There's no flashbang for his teammates as Rix meanwhile finds Krish towards apartments. You want to avoid apartments, especially when you know you're facing off against a force bar and anti-eco. So that's going to be, well, equal traits at the very least. And Rix will fall back. He won't be able to retrieve any weapon. He just has a max 7. As now it is a 4v4. However, you do see the rotation coming in from Venom towards B, and he has been pretty lethal with that CZ of his.
Well, that's been a very long time. We've seen Venom hold that, make that B bomb on Mirage or Fortress with that Signify, been a lot of anti-eco. So this is gonna be interesting if he can actually hold this off. But this is a fake which is being sold to an extent. Venom is going to rotate towards a B bomb side, and well, the other two guys from the A bomb side have not rotated out. This is going to be interesting. They are going to go on for the backstab, but Rex having that swag 7 is going to miss out on the first shot. Ryder is going to find the flag onto Juventa, and Rex is still going to be on that A bomb side. Can he pull this off though? This is going to be extremely hard. This is going to be a monumental task at his hands. He's still going to spot Kappa, almost taking down right there. He's going to find the flag. One bullet to work with. Is going to get taken down by Hellfighter, trying to make his way towards the bomb side, and Foxy is going to be on the lurk. It's going to be coming from mid. Pre-Frank around the corner will get taken down by Buster, and that is going to be the 4th round coming up. So Brutality trying their best to make sure that they do a lot of damage, and in the best case scenario pull the round off as well, but does not happen. Rix, a little unfortunate, got taken down by the guy on the bomb side, trying to make his way to safety while reloading. And well, the other two guys on the B bomb side didn't really do much because they couldn't be, and the fake got sold as well. So this is looking like ATA has started that. The back looks like it might just start snowballing if Brutality cannot stop them right now.
Yeah, I mean, the money's pretty much broken, right? They're on an eco, and this is the round where they're going to be farming some cash. The Macton comes out. It is the drive-by from Hellfighter. He just finds 2 though before he gets taken down, but Krish is there to back him up. Kappa waiting in line. Rix will fall. So pretty quick round coming from Brutality. They went for pretty much a full eco because the money was not great. But ATE, they've tied things up. They've won 5 out of the past 6 rounds. That is big. It was 4-0 for Brutality. Bear in mind. So ATE, they're not doing anything special, but they are able to try and break that A bomb side hole. And that's a problem for Brutality. And even Banana, the weakness in Banana is they're playing so very passively in the sites that you need to have a very solid crossfire for it to work. And right now they're getting picked off. They're not really trying anything crazy. They're not going for any Banana control. You can see right now as well, you can see Venom and Foxy both playing default and very safe. And that's a problem. You don't get any map control means, you know, the rotations are going to take forever. You have no idea what the T's are going to do. And for ATE, that's pretty much, they're just not going to be, they're going to be very happy with this. Look at where Buster and Krisha, they're already towards Boiler with 1:30 on the clock. That should not be happening. And we also have Kappa pushed up towards you know, the top of Banana. So they have map control galore. And again, they have the setup with Rix and Juventa playing from Shelter, playing from quads, the back-to-back. The only difference being this time A-Star is playing from Graveyard. But you know what this means? It leaves Archway completely open. They can literally walk on Archway and make something work. AT don't know this right now. But if they figure that out, that's going to be a massive problem. So it's a game of no information play, as Ryder will try and find a peak. He will get punished by Foxy, so at least that goes the way of Brutality. However, with 50 seconds remaining on the clock, they have no smokes remaining on the CT side.
Well, this is something we've seen 2EZ do a lot as well. The first matchup that was 2EZ was Entity, and the reason why it worked out for 2EZ was because their crossfires were really strong, but I still did mention it to Tito. And, well, but getting back to the game, right, it's going to be Venom throwing the flashbang, which might just blind everyone, and it is just going to be Kappa who's going to get blinded. Just waiting now towards it. Triple Fox. He's going to go around the corner, but Fox with the crossfire, getting the first frag, getting the second one as well. Hellfire is going to get taken now. A really, really good fadeaway headshot, and A-Star is going to go down to Kappa. Getting the second shot as well. What is happening? Kappa on 50 points of health. Venom might just get taken down, and Venom with a really, really good headshot. Crisp headshot onto Kappa is still going to be the round for Brutality after a very, very long time. So yeah, talking about map control, right? This is something that 2EZ does a lot, and they do it well because the crossfires and the way they hold the side just works out. Their trading game is so strong, and that is not happening for Brutality. And one of the other things why Entity was, you know, literally destroying 2EZ in terms of information was because they were giving away a lot of information and a lot of map control early on in the round, and not, you know, they were not making Entity struggle for the map control. They had all the resources in the world they needed to work with to, you know, make those execution plays, and that just did not work out. So this is something that has been happening to Brutality, though they have some fancy crossfires. But yeah, they're giving up a lot of map control and a lot of map information, and that is one of the reasons why their rotations are absolutely terrible right now.
Yeah, and AT haven't really exploited that well so far. Now, I mean, if they go towards Archer, there's no one. They're nice nade there. Sailing in, I do believe that was from Juventa. He has been smoked off. Molotovs keeping him trapped in the corner. Those remaining members of ATE. Then Rix gets spotted out. He could have got a kill there instead. He takes a ton of damage and he's going to fall on it. Juventa's going to get sprayed out through the smoke. You hate to see it. As he gets taken down, Rix internally hemorrhaging inside a pit. So Foxy, he's got to go big again. He was instrumental in Brutality winning the previous round. But now he's playing it safe as the remaining players are going to come charging out from Library. There is a player in the site that is A-Star, but he's going to fall, and it is all on Rick to do something. He finds one kill despite everything, and he gets taken down. Foxy will miss the spray completely. Horrendous spray it was from him. That's got to be gutting, because he gets taken out, I do believe, with a no-scope, and now it's all Mr. Captain Cool from Brutality. Venom, but no matter how big his biceps are, this might be a little too much of a hard ask for him. He's going to fall back.
Well, I have to try and save their whip now because the amount of cash that the CD side has is not really good, and they are going to not have the losing bonus either. They're just going to have $1,400 coming in, so they will have to go in for the force buy because it is the double eco territory they're looking at, and try and risk it and not allow the terrorist side to build up that economy. So yeah, when I'm falling back, a pretty decent round coming for ATE, and what I'm surprised by is the fact that the way Brutality has been playing, because this is not the way they usually play, right? They do go in for the map control. This is something new that we're seeing today. Even though, you know, Asa and Foxy came in a little too late, they have played with them before, but again, you know, coming back to the old lineup. But the way these guys have been playing is surprising me a little. What do you have to say about that?
I'm sorry, you think you just broke up a little bit there.
Oh, well, it's just the Indian internet. So yeah, what I was saying was the way Brutality has been playing today.
Yes.
It's a little uncharacteristic. We've seen them go for the map control early on Inferno as well, and today they are playing a little different. They are trying out new crossfires, some fancy crossfires they've come up with. So I'm kind of surprised. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I'm not too impressed, to be very honest. Like, they're playing even the default setups, right? Like the Inferno and the CD side, it's not that easy unless you're playing against you know, a complete pug team, right? You want to have that map control, you want to, you know, catch them off guard, you want to have some okay, there we go, Venom getting the kill. But yeah, you want to have some map control, and I think that's, I've been harping on this time and time again. I think that is an absolute necessity, especially in a map like this, to try and prevent the avenues for ATE to work with. And ATE right now, they're giving so much freedom to move around, to do what they want. Although that peek from Krish, I do believe should have been traded instead of a teammate who was peeking alongside him, but he gets taken down. Now, this is one I'm not a big fan from ATE. The second they get taken down or they face some pressure on the other side, they just start rushing in to the other side, which makes no sense to me, right? I mean, you still have a lot of time to work with, feel it out, right? Just pushing in as Ryder gets a kill. Rix from the balcony does his very best to find a kill, and now it's Foxy with a P250, leaving it all on Ryder, who has been quite impressive so far with that AWP of his, especially on the T side. It's no easy ask. He spots out Foxy, not able to quite land it. He'll have to go for the reload, running out of bullets in that clip of his. 2v2, Nate sails in. Foxy take a bit of damage, not too much though, and Venom will come to his rescue, rips his head clean off his shoulders, and that's going to be a round for Brutality. But I don't get what AT are doing there, right? You lose your first player over at B, fair enough, right? And then you just announce, you telegraph the fact that running into A, one player comes out from Boiler, gets picked off by the CZ, by Juventa, close range, and then you just charge in with no plan in mind. They were acting like they had like 10 seconds remaining to get the bomb done, which is not the case. You had a minute to work with. So AT, little reminiscent of a chicken losing its head. I don't know. I really don't know why they're going for these plays, but Brutality, you're going to be thankful for it. They managed to get another round. That's going to be 7-6. A-Star with the op now. That's something you don't see that often.
Oh, we did see then the last game, and we had A-Star opting a lot. Actually, Rix barely opt that match, so this is something they have been trying as well. But yeah, talking about the last round, I actually liked how Foxy played. Did not make the mistake that A-Star made, not being a little too impatient, and making sure that he wasted the time, making sure that the rotation came in, and well, A-Star is just going to smoke it off. So yeah, pretty good play from Foxy coming in as well. But on the terrace side, they have not went in for the banana control this time around. It's only going to be A-Star being a little aggressive towards banana with the op to work with. So this is a good read coming from Brutality, and Juventa is going to be waiting down on top of the apartments while Rix stands on top of the box. So a really good crossfire while Foxy watches the arch area. This is going to be a slaughterhouse if AT Gaming walks in towards a bomb site, and this is something that only time will tell us. While Kappa gets taken down, Ryder is going to be waiting down towards the A apartments, having a Macton to work with, and Deagle as well. So quite an interesting buy. I mean, yeah, Deagle for the long range, but Juventa is just going to wait it out, trying to find that frag. And Juventa, look at that, the flashbang landing, and Friday is going to get taken down. And it's going to be Buster who's going to go down as well. And in the meantime, it is going to leave Hellfight all alone. It's going to fall to Rix. And again, yeah, slaughterhouse towards A bomb side. It's going to be the last round coming off of the first half. And that was a brilliant read coming from Team Brutality.
Yeah, I mean, like when you have A-Star perch on top of the mini wall over Banana with that op, he's got all the information in the world. He's like, guys, there's no one coming B, there's no one at the bottom of Banana. You can just keep 4 guys at A, right? All you need to do is just spot someone or maybe take a shot, fall back towards B, then call a rotation. So 4-man stack. That's what happens, right? That's what happens when you don't really pressure any other side. And AT have been, I think, lacking a little bit there. They haven't really shown much. They used to earlier in this half, but all of a sudden they seem to be committing too many players. Because that Buster getting completely separated from the rest of his teammate gets punished. Venom's going to take him down, who's kind of low. He's been tagged down a bit, but he's going to fall back to safety. But yeah, I mean, if you're just going to completely give up a site, and if Brutality at least mixing it up, you know, this time around, they went for that little bit of information play, like putting A-Star on top, and that's what happens when you have that information to work with. You can stack the right site. You can have your players gathered up together in a site where, you know, you have a better advantage. Venom should be careful there. There was no need for him to announce himself, because those traces can be seen, and Kappa will take him down. He was pretty low as well, so an unnecessary death there, I do believe, is a 5v3, now a 5v4. However, ATE, they really don't have much to work with, do they? 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, a Galil and Hellfighter. And a dream to at least get round number 7 here.
Well, that is going to be a monumental task though, but well, the smoke is going to go in towards the CT base. Foxy is going to get boosted up top, so this might not just be the round for AT, but he's going to get blinded, just waiting it out on top, and Rix is going to be making his way towards the coils, or coffins as you might want to call it. Now Foxy is going to get taken. Rix missing out on a shot is something that is very uncharacteristic with the op. It's still going to be Juventa and A-Star on the retake in a 2v3 situation. So this is something that is doable for them. They have a kid and 2 flashes to work with. And the C4 is going to get spotted. Or maybe not. The C4 is not going to get spotted. It's planting safe. But it is going to be Kappa alongside Ryder. They have no idea that the C4 has been planted on that side. Maybe they do A-Star. Is it Ryder? It's actually going to be Hellfight is going to find the frag on the Juventa while A-Star gets decapitated by Kappa, and that is going to be the end of the first half. The scoreline is going to be 8-7 in the favor of Team Brutality, and this has been quite an interesting half. We've seen quite a few mistakes being made from both the sides, but we've seen certain interesting rounds as well. from both the teams. So in the pistol round, Rix is going to go in for the P250. He's actually going to get dropped the P250. It is going to be Uinta who's going to have the smoke and the P250. And on the CT side, it is, well, they don't have any kits yet to work with, so it might just as well be Kappa who's going to buy it up. And that happens. So kit and 2 flashes to work with on the chair side. Only 1 smoke and 2 and on 1 P250. So what do you make of this round?
Yeah, the P250 getting dropped. I mean, Juventa, he went for the smoke buy, so he had like, I think, $500 to work with, and he's like, alright, you know, I got enough cash for a better, you know, slightly more long-range weapon than the Glock. So dropping it over to Rix, and why not? But Rix missing a few shots for Brutality, right? I mean, 4v3, they went for a default, you know, smokes, 1 CT, 1 towards coffins, and yet they weren't able to hold. They didn't get a single kill in the defense, so that's got to be a little worrying factor. ATE, though, 7 rounds on the T side, that's quite a lot to work with. They have Kappa, taking 1 for the team as he usually does. He's got a kit, he's got a flashbang as Buster gets spotted out. Rix will find him immediately, snaps around. How is Rix still alive? I don't know, but he's going to find 2. He does make up for some of the whiffs that he had earlier, but now it's a retake time. It's a Hellfighter, it is Kappa. And Kappa has a kit. So that's something going their way rather.
Well,
1 flash.
That takes a lot of pressure off you because you do have the kit and the flashbang was on, but it's still going to be Kappa who's going to get taken out. Hellfighter just waiting it out while Venom gets a take onto him. And this is just a matter of time till the time that Brutality wins around. But yeah, you know, it was a really, really good try, the flash being on point. And when you have the kit in the first round especially, it just takes a lot of pressure off you because you do realize and you do know that you only need 5 seconds to defuse the bomb, and when you do not have that kit, you just tend to make a few mistakes while trying to rush in towards the bomb site. So, and that was a situation which favored the CDs a little more than they, you know, it could have if they didn't have the kit. But yeah, the CD is going in for the force buy. It is going to be Ryder who's going to go in on a complete eco right now to try and get that off in the buy round, and it is going to be Uinta who's going to try and farm some cash with the Macton alongside Acer and Fox. He had the UMP45s to work with, and one of the reasons why I'm personally so fond of the Macton is because of the mobility that it gives you while you can just jump around the corners and still connect the shots.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can just run and gun, get the skills. What I'm not a big fan of here is the fact that they have everyone pushed up towards mid, which is fair enough, but they have no one marking the flank. So if ATE had opted to push Banana, they would have been walking in with their back, you know, everyone had their backs turned to them. So a couple of small things. You want to have someone marking the flank, especially on anti-eco. You got to play anti-eco right, and instead they're going to come charging into the site. Buster's ready and waiting. He finds one, not able to get a second kill. The Eventer will mow him down, but the rotation is already in play. A-Star gets dinked down. He will, however, survive. He's going to make his way into the pit. Ryder being very sneaky. Beautiful play from Ryder. He pushes it. He finds Eventer. Hellfighter finds Foxy. It's all an A-Star who is only a 23 HP. Ryder clutches it out. Crucial kill. Beautiful movement from him. Just using the timing. The second the smoke dissipated, he just curved his way into the site like Foon of old. Gets the kill, and Brutality, they lose a round they had no business losing. It's gutting to watch anti-egos go that way.
But that was a beautiful play from Ryder, though, pushing through that smoke in the most perfect time possible and getting those 2 very crucial frags. That was just beautiful counter-strike being played out by Ryder. Well, yeah, the anti-eco going in the favor of the CD side, which should not have happened, but we have Brutality, and this time around it's going to be AT's chance to try and lose this anti-eco because there was literally no way Brutality could have lost that, but they're still going to do that. Rix is going to get blinded. He's going to fall back with the Deagle, trying to get that early opening. Only guy towards Banana along with the Steamer now is coming to help him, and Venom is going to be the one leading the charge. They still have the flashes to work with, so they could try and get that entry, but Hellfighter having the FAMAS to work with, and Rix is not going to get spotted.
It's hard to spot him with the flame, so yeah, Rix unfortunate there. Oop. Hellfighter, he somehow survives. That is such a risky play there. I'm not a big fan of that. They will swap weapons, MP9. But yeah, map control getting rested by Brutality early on, and considering they just have pistols, that's pretty solid.
That's pretty solid, and well, they still have 4 CZs to work with. Not a lot of bullets though, because you just run off, you chew through bullets really quickly on CZ. It's still gonna be Hellfighter with the crossfire going on. Kappa is gonna be trying his best to make sure that Hellfighter does not get pushed because he only has MP9 to work with on 19 points of health. Is even more difficult, but the flashbang is going to go up and one is going to get taken out. Hellfighter still find the first one, can get the second as well. Is going to go in, but they get traded out. The Foxy getting 2 frags in the first one on the Kappa and Hellfighter. And well, it is going to be Ryder who's spamming through the smoke, will not connect a shot. And Chris trying to be a little too ambitious. He's going to try and spam the offense. He's not going to find anyone. Foxy is going to get spotted as well. So they do have the information about 2 players at least not realizing that there are two players in the same spot. So it's going to be Krish alongside his team and leading the shot. The flashbang, though, again on point. Well, such nice counter flashes coming in from the Cherry side, and this retake is going to be really hard. Foxy playing it to perfection, wasting so much more time than he should have, and Ryder almost being taken down right there. But it's going to be Rix who's going to get taken down, and you went again the frag on a Buster. Ryder trying to get the frag is not going to be able to connect any shots, and Foxy still surviving. What is even happening right now? Krish is going to go down, and Foxy, you went getting 2 frags, and he played it to. I don't even have words to explain this.
Yeah, Foxy, that was just brilliant stuff from him. I don't think he even had bullets remaining at one point. I think he just had a CZ, but all he did was just try and stay alive, dancing around the boxes, the dance macabre, and somehow they managed to seal that round away. But I mean, this is basically a game of how not to play the anti-ecos, at least the second half. Brutality, they had a horrible anti-eco, just pushing into the A-bomb side, getting ecoed by AT, and now AT's turn. I mean, like I said, right, that's what happens. You don't want to play this close range encounters, especially when you're playing Turtle from the side. Those CZs are going to be deadly at that range. You want to play it a little bit more passively. Now, I'm not sure why A-Star is going to come charging in towards apartments. Buster will find the kill with a P250. You want to play a little bit more back. You want to use the range advantage you have. And now Buster, he's picked up the Galil, is going to be falling back. In the meantime, it's the rest of the team pushing in. It is, however, pretty much a hard eco. Nice Molotov there. And Ryder is not quite burning, though. The flames are right in front of him, and Venom will have no trouble farming a little bit of cash there.
Well, that is exactly what I talked about. Venom just jumping across the corner and gets the headshot onto the CD being boosted up. I think it was Hellfighter, and Krish is still going to find the headshot onto Venom. Getting some amount of money to work with, $300 extra. That just equalizes the amount of money spent on the P250, and it is going to be Buster just waiting. They're trying to salvage that Galil, and they do have... Well, they don't really have a lot of cash to work with, so I think it makes sense to salvage that Galil. Though I'm not a huge fan of that weapon, but when you don't have the cash, there's literally no other options. And Krish is going to try and make some more money because he has literally nothing to lose. Or is he going to try and go in for the... Well, he can't do the ninja because he doesn't have a kit to work. He's still going to be on the backside trying to find the frag, but well, Uenta being ever so sharp is going to find the frag onto Krish, and it is going to be Buster who is going to save that gun up on the CD side, and that's going to be the 11th round coming up for Team Brutality. And yeah, you know, anti-eco is being played out terribly, but finally Brutality ending the curse because it was a complete eco on the CET side and, you know, pulling the round off.
Yeah, I mean, if they lost the USBs, I would have just like... I don't know what I would have done. I would probably just quit myself. But they do manage to convert, so that's a good thing. ATE will be a double eco. However, they will have enough cash to go for a little bit of a, you know, expenditure there. Krish with the deagle and armor, a multitude of nades. So 3 nades, a couple of smokes, a handful of flashbangs, and they have all 3 players charging in towards Banana. And I like this from Brutality, avoiding Banana where they can get destroyed by the nades. Instead, they're going to come charging out towards mid. Foxy saving his teammate there. Ryder will survive, and meantime Kappa just floating around towards the smoke. This is a round that Brutality want to win with minimal casualties because they got rifles on almost all these players, right? They don't want to give away that, so they want to just try and play it as safe as possible. Buster's the problem. He's got that Galil. He can deal out some damage, and even if he loses it, it's fine because it's going to be buy time anyway. The next round, and Kappa is going to come. Krish decapitates Foxy, and that's going to give a free gun. They have a flashbang to work with as well. 3v3. Bear in mind, Rix is very low indeed. However, Rix and A-Star, they chime in simultaneously. Kappa's going to be left alone. I think they have an inkling where he is. A-Star is looking for him, and there is no hiding when A-Star is on the hunt. 12-8. They survive, and now it's a buy time.
For a moment, I actually felt that Kappa got the flick, and I was like, ooh,
yeah,
right.
Even I thought it was Kappa with the USU. Then I'm like, oh, alright, the Deagle shot. Nonetheless, a great shot.
It was a great shot. It's a pretty hard angle to hit, especially when you have an op to work with. And nonetheless, it is going to be Ryder with the op on the CT side. This is going to be the round for Ryder because he has been playing decently well with the op. But on the Terror side, Rix or Asa, neither of these guys are wielding the op. So this is going to be interesting. Unless Ryder plays passive, it should not be an issue. But if he goes in for that aggressive picks, this could just be a round which Brutality might not expect with the op to come in. But the flashbang is going to get thrown in. This is going to be a quick mid take coming in. This is really interesting. And aggressive Krish is going to find the first rack. Venom is going to get taken down. It is going to be Buster again to work first. And trying to go for the spray down as well. Gets the second guy. Foxy is going to fall out. It's going to be Krish with a perfect crossfire. But Rix is going to find the second frag as well. It's going to be Buster is going to get taken down. And Ryder watching the cross, but well, both of the guys have already crossed and are on the bomb side. So this is just going to be a little too hard for Ryder to try and salvage by Rix. Is going to get backstabbed by Kappa, being taken down from the left side. And what a shot by Ryder. Asa is going to go down as well, and that is going to be the 9th round coming up for the CT side.
I really don't get this tendency of Brutality and ATE as well. They kind of did the same thing, a very similar thing earlier on their T side, where this bursting out towards mid. Look, it's not like you can't burst out towards mid. You can explode out towards mid, towards brackets, the brackets area, but you need to be a little bit more coordinated than that. There was no one marking towards archway, so that was a free kill, the first kill that went the way of ATE. There was no one marking there. There were no flashes popping out as well. They're just going in kind of dry, and when you go in dry, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot, and that's what happened. Like, I don't get this. And Ryder, he's been hitting some nice shots. Being very floaty with the AWP as well. And for AT right now, I like what they're doing, you know, the 3-man stack towards Banana, but I think they wait a little too long. And here they come aggressing out. So they're getting some map control, but A-Star ready and waiting. Perfect flashbang as well. And Kappa is getting perforated. Ven's gonna get the kill. One player, Krish, and he's on 23 HP. Being hunted down. He finds one. Not able to get a second. Venom's gonna find him. And that's the B bomb site getting completely taken over by Brutality. 2v4. And unless Ryder does something completely, absolutely humongous, this is gonna be the round done and dusted.
Well, this is the time, you know, this is a round where you can rise and shine. And, you know, tell the other guys on the server that, you know, I exist and I've been playing recently over the op, but it's going to be Venom is going to be pushing through this smoke, will get taken down, and Buster find the frag. Ryder is going to have an A to work with. Look towards a triple box, will not do any sub damage. And Foxy, ooh, that would have been really, really cheesy if we could have hit that shot. But Asa is going to be on the backstab. Here the first one, can he get the second as well? Ryder just peeking around the corner of the ball, so he's going to flash him out and he's going to find the shot. He's going to get burned alive, being cooked right there towards construction. And well, that is going to be the 13th round, and that is going to take away the losing bonus from the CD side, and they have absolutely no money to work with. This is the worst possible state they could be in this matchup at this point.
Absolutely. The money is completely wrecked. It's going to be Eco City, and even if they... You know what, I think, like, it just makes sense to force it up right now, because here's a problem, right? Even if they eco this, they're going to get $1,900 for the next, for this round, so they're still going to have pretty abysmal amount of money to work with, even if they go for a full eco this round. And Kappa gets taken down so massively. Flashbang's good. Kappa somehow survives, and oh my word, what's even going on? I don't believe this. I did not believe this. It's a 1v1. They just died to USPs. I don't get this pushing in and, you know, just trying to force your way into a side scenario, because...
No, what could have made more sense at this point, but nonetheless, it is going to be Rix waiting down, almost being taken down right. The Krish just whiffing that shot, and Rix did not know that he was pushing up. So this is going to be interesting. The Molotov is going to get thrown out, making sure that he cannot fall back to the CD base, and Krish is going to pick up the weapon up as well. So this is going to be interesting. The flashbang being thrown on Krish. It's going to try to ward it out. What? What is even going on? This should not have happened. This should not have... There's no chance in hell that Rix could have missed that shot. This is not the round to lose Brutality. This is not how we lose a round.
Oh. Listen, so I just came back from Kiev. I was at the Betsnet Masters, and we had like teams like Virtus.pro. We saw teams like North. We saw a lot of you know, pretty well-known teams. The one team which I saw was a team called Fraxters from Denmark. They took down VP twice in 2 best-of-3s. They took down Gambit as well in the best-of-3. They came not very close, but they also took a fight to Hellraisers, who are looking very solid right now, and North. Here's the thing. If they played any of the rounds the way that round was played by ATE, they would not have won. They wouldn't have won Jack, right? That is the complete opposite of how you play an anti-eco. Why rush in? Why are these guys rushing in? They do realize that this is... You know, you have 1 minute and 40 seconds, like more than 1 minute and 40 seconds to work with. You know, you have time. You have time. You have the weaponry advantage. You know your opponents are in eco, and yet this tendency to just take fights time and time again. This is not deathmatch. This is not a random pug. You know, there's quite a bit at stake here, and if this is the way that you're going to be playing in a serious match, I don't see them winning anything against tier 2 teams, as Rick somehow finds a killer to Krish smoke. And tell you what though, it does keep you on your toes. It does keep you on your toes, Mamba. Because right now it's a 2v2.
And Hellfire almost finding the flag onto Asa. He's gonna be falling back, and Asa barely surviving on 16 points of health. Rix is gonna find the third headshot with the Deagle, and this is almost an anti-eco of sorts, and this I don't even know what exactly is going on in this matchup. But you know, the mid push that came in from Brutality 2 rounds back, two or three rounds back, this is something they could have pulled off in the last round. You know, that would have made more sense because it's not a choke point to hold with the pistols. It still would have made a little more sense rather than just rushing down Banana, and somehow they end up losing that round. So it's going to be Buster in a 2v1, and this is going to be interesting. Rick's getting 3 headshots with that Eagle, doing a lot of work. Ace already having a frag to work with, so it is going to be Buster, who already has found 2 frags, will have to make it a quad kill. And look at the amount of frags A-Star has, and Rick has 26 frags to work with. It's going to be Buster, though, having a flash to work with, no kid. Oh, well, he's finally going to find a kid right at his feet, so this is going to relax him a bit, but A-Star is going to make some noise. He's going to give away his position, and this is the best this is the best bait and switch set coming towards A-bomb. So he's going to get spotted, and Rix does not have to peek. Why would you do that? Wow. Why?
That was nuts from Buster, though. That was crazy from Buster. The spray transfer. And Buster keeps ATE alive, because here's the thing, man, but if they had lost that round, Brutality would be on 14 and ATE would be completely, utterly broke. So they survived despite the heroics of Rix. Some heroic stuff coming out from both A-Star and from Rix and from Buster, but in the end, not to be. 13-11, it's a pretty tight scoreline, and I don't know, like, you could pretty much write a textbook of what not to do on Inferno based off what's going on here. Honestly, I'm getting a little tilted. You know, this is my first. By the way, this is my first game of Indian Counter-Strike I'm casting this year. You know, it's me coming back to my roots, so to speak. You know, getting back to some good old curry casting, getting back to some good old curry Counter-Strike, and I was looking forward to it. I'm like, hey, maybe things might have changed right now. You know, we have so many new teams playing. You know, some exciting new prospects on the horizon, and then I come in and then I see this, and it depresses me, you know. It depresses
I'll tell you what, though, Too Easy and Entity, that's a matchup that you would love to watch and love to cast, because the first match, it was in the same map, and these guys were playing brilliantly. Even the Equitas obviously would not be happy with the way Entity played, because they did make a few mistakes, but that was a matchup. I think that was one of the best Indian matches that I had seen in a very, very long time. So that match, you know, gave me some hopes. The second match did give me some hopes, but the last 2 days have just been absolutely terrible, because, you know, the plays, right, they just don't make sense at times. And in the meantime, Kappa is going to get taken down towards the B-bomb side. Still is going to be Hellfighter trying to hold the bomb side. Is going to get taken down by Foxy, and Rix is going to go down to Hellfighter. So doing some amount of damage, and Ace are holding a really good angle. The CDs are not going to expect this 19 points of health, and playing it brilliantly. Knows that he cannot take a conventional fight, cannot hold a conventional angle, and almost being taken out right there. Ryder is going to go down.
Gotta save.
They have to save it.
Yeah, they have to save, because money is, oh boy, this is painful. This is just painful for ATE. And if you just look at the way the rounds have been traded, look at that. Like, the first 4 rounds, yes, 5 rounds rather, kind of going the way of Brutality, but I think like 3 or 4 anti-ecos have been lost so far in one half. That shouldn't be happening, right? And Brutality, 14-11, 2 rounds remaining for ATE. They have this AWP and M4 to work with, and nothing else. We might even see just a force coming out here. I don't think they're going to be looking to play overtime. Yeah, they're just going to force that, because if they lose this round, they're still going to be broke. So might as well try and force something when you have an M4 and an AWP to work with, right? So it is going to be a force spike coming out. However, what they do with this remains to be seen. Brutality looking hot here. Although yes, like we've spoken about it time and time and again, you know, the anti-ego's a little rough, but at least they're winning some of these rounds a bit more cleaner than when they face off against eco rounds.
In this one, I'm expecting a little too much from Krish, because they don't have the resources to hold off the push. So Krish will have to go in aggressive and try and get those early openings to push Brutality back a bit, and, you know, make sure that they delay the pushes. They use up all of the resources, because the amount of utility that the CTs have, it's going to be impossible to hold off and execute if it comes. But, well, on the other side, Brutality does not have enough resources either. So this is going to be the round where Krish will have to, you know, step it up and try and get those openings with the op. So it is something that only time will tell us, but in the meantime, we have the terrorist side taking control of the apartments area and the boiler area as well. Everyone towards mid, no one watching Banana, no one watching Archers as well. So Krish is trying to hold that angle off. It's going to spot the terrorist, though. It's going to fall back. A-Style almost being taken out right there, falling back at the most perfect time possible. So Yeah, 55 seconds on the clock to work with. It's going to be Buster being boosted up top. And standing on top of the railing, and Ryder is holding slightly. Well, this is I'm not fond of this angle, especially with this weapon. I would rather hold off an off angle. But well, the flashbang is going to get thrown. It's not going to blind anyone, and Buster is waiting out. But well, Krish is going to get traded out really quickly. It is getting Buster in the first one. Going to get the second as well. Nope, Rix is just going to jump around the corner with the UMP45, getting the frag onto him. It is going to be Kappa and Hellfighter in a 2v3. This is going to be a situation where they do or die. And they have to absolutely win this round to try and get the comeback rolling again. So Brutality having the bomb down. Post spawns are fairly decent. They are not the best, but they're still okay. We have Rix inside pits with the, well, he has AK-47, hasn't picked up the AWP yet. So Foxy and Asa on the bomb side, being on top, and the Molotov is going to flash him out. So the utility being used to perfection, right? The Hellfighter is going to go down though, and it's going to be Kappa find the refrag onto Asa, while Foxy gets a trade onto Kappa. So this is going to be match point, and AT do not have a lot of money to work with.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do from this, right? In an idea, I would have liked them to save those 2 guns, because, you know, if they had those 2 rifles saved, at least this force would have looked a little bit more convincing. But 3 Caesars and 2 Deagles. But hey, I'm not gonna jinx anything. I think, like we said, I think we've seen like 4 or 5 anti-ecos lost in a span of 26 rounds. So anything can happen. As long as Brutality don't just rush into a site with their eyes blindfolded. Let's not do that. This can't work out. Buster being very, very ballsy as A-Star opens things up, but a quick trade comes in. Kappa picks up an AK-47, and Buster is down to 8 HP. That's what happens when you walk down that walkway, that hallway. Yeah, I mean, nerves, and I like how Kappa looks so sad. I don't know if you noticed his face, but he was looking really sad. Just like staring at Buster and going like, why? Why are you doing this to me? As Venom finishes the job that that Buster started. And the AK is out in no man's land. It's a 3v4, and Brutality, if they play this right, I don't see them losing this round.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just can't help but laugh. I know I tried really hard not to laugh, but
that was fun. That was fun.
But nonetheless, it's going to be Ryder holding that angle off with the Deagle. It is going to be Foxy, though, being a little too aggressive towards mid, but the flashbang is going to be coming in, trying to fake it. I'm not quite sure, but Foxy is going to get taken out right over the crisp headshot on the Foxy. It's still going to get reduced to a 3v3, and Venom, Rix, and Uent on the chair set, having all the utility in the world they need to work with, and the bomb set is going to get flashed. Hellfighter in a really good spot will get taken down, though. And it is going to be Buster and Ryder trying to salvage this round and this map as well. I think AT Gaming have lost both the games they've played on stream. And one of the matches was off the stream, so I'm gonna be kind of surprised if AT lose this one as well. I mean, if they can pick this one up, but it doesn't look like it. Ryder is gonna be in a 1v3, does not have a kit to work with either, and the post plants are fairly decent as well. So this is going to be an almost impossible task, but nonetheless, this is gonna go in and will get taken down by Rix, and the scoreline is going to be 16-11. So, well, not the best match to cast when you come back from a really, really long hiatus from Indian Counter-Strike, but I hope you guys enjoyed the match. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast as well, because it was the first time Blair and I were casting together. But well, it was an honor and a pleasure casting for you guys. Until the next time, it's going to be Blair and Mamba signing off.
Welcome everybody to the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Master League. We just got done with the Counter-Strike Global Offensive game between Team Brutality and ATE Gaming, which went into Team Brutality's favor excellently. Like I had said, not a puck-based map. Absolutely on point from Brutality, although they did fumble somewhere. In fact, it was closely contested till a certain point of time by ATE, basis on a lot of mistakes made on both sides. Maybe the gameplay could have been improved. I'm pretty sure if Adi was here, would have definitely agreed with me on a lot of points here. But that sums up today's game, the Brutality game. We'll be back again with Dota 2 in a short while, but right now, we will go on to a small break. When we come back with Dota 2.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
All right, back again with the action here at the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Seasons Masters League. And now we got done with the Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Brutality won that game against ATE Gaming. And now we are here with the final game of the day,
Dota
which
2.
is none other than Angie's favorite game,
Yes.
Dota 2.
I love this game. I love this game.
I can see it in your eyes.
But today we have got two really good teams playing against each other. We have Reckoning Esports going up against Signify.
So let's quickly take a look at both these teams one by one first. Reckoning Esports then. Alrighty then, well, that's Team Reckoning Esports, not to be confused with Reckoning Infinity, even though the both players, the teams are from Pune city, one of my favorite cities. I'd like to call it my third home.
Oh, so what's your first home then?
Lucknow.
Kashmir? Okay. What's your second home?
Mumbai.
Okay, I get it.
Delhi doesn't count.
All right.
Delhi is not a place I'd like to call home anytime.
Talking about Reckoning Esports, this is a team based out of Pune. They entered the ESL India Premiership in the winter season of last year. They also made it to the LAN finale. They didn't really perform that great on LAN. They came to a 5th and 8th position over there. But otherwise, and the irony of this team is that they kind of lost the lower bracket game to their sister team, Reckoning Infinity. So,
or a brother team. Let's not be gender biased here.
Yes,
let's
or a
not
brother
be,
team.
Let's not be gender biased here.
So, but today they go up against a team that is very well known, and it's got the veterans player, all the veteran players from the Dota 2 community. So let's hear more about this team.
Yeah. Ooh, it's getting hot in here.
Yes, it is. And
I don't want to continue that song. I'm definitely not continuing that song. That's Team Signify, India's top-class international team.
I like how Ronak has that smirk on his face. He always has that smirk. I'm going to look serious, but I'm still going to have that tiny smirk.
Ronak, a.k.a. Mr. Crowley, a.k.a. Bacha, has always been like that. I think as far as I have laid my eyes on him, he's always been that, pretty fun guy,
very chilled, very
but very talented
person.
Indeed. One of the few
very
talented players which this country has managed to, how would I say, bear.
I think if there was one player in the previous times that I could remember, it's always been Ronak. And nowadays, of course, we have some splendid names. We have Blizzard, who will be joining him. Negi, of course, who's been playing for quite a while now. Swifty, joining the ranks of them all. This whole team in general, I mean, with their international face already so big, I feel Reckoning Esports will have to be very careful coming into this game. I do not know how well they would perform against them. They are not really on the same tier level as Signify, but I think they're going to learn a lot from this game, even if they don't take this game
They end up losing. Yeah, so let's quickly head over to the draft and see what's in store for us, because that's going to dictate a lot of things about how this game is going to progress. So we'll just wait for the draft, and I believe it's going to come up right about...
Are you going to do like a drum roll segment? Awesome!
Yes! See? My timing skills! And I already see a band coming in from Reckoning. They have banned Dark Willow.
Yeah, played a lot by Signify. They love playing the Dark Willow and the Pang.
Signify gone ahead and banned Nyx Assassin there.
So I would tell you why Signify would do that. So... Most of the teams, and I would say this out of experience, when any team gets into a game, they do not want to buy sentries and wards. It is just a thing. I mean, the more dust and sentries your supports have to invest, the more gold and net worth it drops for them. So I would consider Nyx Assassin getting banned, because you do not want to deal with an invis hero in the opponent team. You do not have to keep
Vendetta. The Vendetta is
keep worrying about whether he'll just catch you from behind. And Signify has always preferred playing real fast games. And talking about fast games, Reckoning Esports decide to ban out the Pang. Very well banned over there. They love playing the Pang, and that also means that Signify will have to be careful whether they want to take this game for 20 minutes. If it drags on, it could even go to 30-35 minutes. Saying that, now Signify looking to take their second ban, and they're going to go with the Viper, one of your favorite mid heroes. You love that hero, I think, after Razor.
If I was playing, I would obviously be very miffed with the fact that Viper got banned, because if I am supposed to be playing mid, I usually end up taking either a Viper or a Razor. Both of them good heroes in the mid to harass the opposition, and we see a Tiny coming in as a ban from Reckoning Esports.
Blizzard is a monster on that Tiny. He doesn't
Guess what just happened? Guess what the next ban is?
The Razor. All right. So the Razor and Viper.
So it's been established. A good Viper or a good Razor in the middle lane is a lot of trouble for any team.
Yeah.
Like again, I've mentioned this before. I'd like to take this opportunity to mention this again. The static link, for example, for Razor, the damage steal is absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it happens. I'll tell you what happens. A lot of times in the team fight, you have a well-fed Razor.
Yeah.
And then what transpires is, because of that well-fed Razor, in a gang situation, in a team situation, you end up not paying attention to a static link. Because somewhere in the thick of the things, okay, it's not damaging, but you realize it's stealing your damage.
And if you're stealing from your carry, who's your main damage output, Razor is just deadly. It's not even about whether the player can play the hero well. It's not even that. It's just that the hero itself is so broken at times that there is no way you can really do. And you pair him up with a Bane or something, your carry is just standing there like, I really need a BKB.
Yeah.
You know, and talking about picks back again, we have Reckoning Esports picking up one of my favorite heroes, the Witch Doctor. I'm hoping to see them pick the Sand King after this, the best duo as of now, but they opt to go for a Death Prophet mid. Now, the Death Prophet got to be one of the good picks because he is going to be faring against Swifty, and if Swifty decides to go with the Queen of Pain, he's devastating. So they need to pick a hero that can withstand no matter what comes. And I think the Death Prophet, if the Razor and the Viper is banned, is one of the other option to go
Definitely.
with. Very tanky.
They've got Signify has gone ahead with an IO and a Gyrocopter. Pretty nice way to say that, hey, we're here to really bamboozle your way of Dota. And we see another ban coming in from Signify.
It's going to be the Tide Hunter.
Is that the Tide Hunter? Okay,
Yes.
with the shades, it's sadly problematic to see those dark black things.
Talking about the IO, I mean, I think this is the first time in the ESL India Premiership.
I'm seeing an IO for the first time in the ESL India Premiership this time around.
That is going to be played by Ronak. It'll be a very interesting watch because it's a treat to watch him play support nowadays. Gyrocopter, of course, going to be either being played by Blizzard. I don't think that's a mid gyro unless they opt to go with the old strat of an IO with a CK and send the gyro in the mid lane. I'm also hoping to see a Morphling this game. He's been
and Omni Knight's getting banned right now, by the way. Apart from the sorry to cut you there.
Yes.
Apart from the Omni Knight, continuing on the Morphling thing. Good you mentioned that hero. A Morphling in this instance could be a very dangerous, how would I say, character.
Yeah.
In any lane, considering, especially on a Reckoning side, because they have an exorcism from Banshee, which is absolutely a deadly ultimate. You have Witch Doctor there to provide you ample amount of support. Oh yeah, look at that go! So it's literally like that. And then you have a Morphling. The Agi strength bifurcation there in the Morphling is absolutely discouraging for a lot. Not for a team like Signify. Definitely, I'm pretty sure they'll be up against a lot of. They've been against a lot of Morphling there, so I'm presuming they will not be befuddled by it. But again, on a brink of death, when you see, okay, yes, finally that Morphling's dying, and suddenly you see strength coming in, you see HP pooling up. Yeah, that's when things go like wonderful. So what else do you think is going to happen in the game? Like while the draft is going on, what are your expectations from this game while we get the draft back up here?
I think I would definitely say that Reckoning Esports has come into this game with the concept that they really want to make sure that they have a good standing, because what happens is Signify is a kind of team, like I'm going to keep mentioning this, being a professional team, they are going to end this game very soon in the first 20 minutes of the game. And if that really happens, then this game has to go on for the next 30 minutes. Reckoning Esports needs to make sure that they have got Signify covered. The last time we saw Signify play, they let Blizzard just farm away. Monkey King was just there doing a lot of damage. So if Reckoning Esports has to make sure that every character, every player from Signify is going to be like jotted down and made sure that, you know, they are seen to. And if Reckoning Esports is able to do that, then they have a chance of maybe taking this game longer and maybe making sure that they could take this game. But otherwise, Signify very clearly has a game plan in mind with the IO and Gyro itself. I can make out that they really want to take a lot of fights and see to it that they are able to cover the whole map pretty soon. I'm hoping to see Jeet Kundra maybe even play the Queen of Pain or the Tinker if they are not banned out, because he plays a fantastic Queen of Pain. And Tinker being one of his main heroes, if they choose to pick that, there is going to be an onslaughter coming in from Signify for Reckoning Esports. These two teams haven't really played each other before. I see Reckoning Esports thinking that maybe, you know what, let's just try our luck with this game and see how far it takes them. As of now, Signify sits right on top of the leaderboard. They are, I mean, last year they were the winter season finale winners. So there's... I will not say I'm not putting my money on Reckoning in Esports, but I hope in the long term Signify is able to have some challenge in the matches that come up in the ESL India Premiership.
Yeah, indeed. I'm seeing IO for the first time here in ESL. I'm pretty excited to see a great IO play from Ronak. In fact, a Legion Commander, an OD, and a Sand King. Sand King's gone to Reckoning.
I
OD
told you
and
they're going to
Legion
take the fourth pick.
Yeah, and they've gone ahead and banned Beastmaster. Is that right? Reckoning has gone ahead and banned Beastmaster.
The OD, that's going to be a mid OD. And like I said, Queen of Pain and Tinker being his mains, OD is just destruction on the map. And Legion Commander, oh my god, I look at this draft and I'm like, there's so much damage output coming in from Signify. And
there is a Kotol!
You are so excited.
Kotol has been picked by
Reckoning Esports.
I love Kotol. Kotol, give me mana. Kotol, my favorite hero. No, sorry, the excitement was unnecessary.
Keeper of the Light being picked up by Reckoning Infinity indirectly says that the Sand King is going to be going in the off lane. They want to get that quick blink up on him, but that also says that Reckoning Esports are very squishier. They have 3 heroes that can be easily countered, and my hands itch to say that it's going to be a Bounty Hunter as the final pickup, because then you're just going to get so much gold on Signify. But they're going to take some time with this one. It's going to be the Gyro going into the safe lane with the IO, the OD going mid, Legion Commander mostly off lane, and that makes me wait for the last pickup. The Lifestealer gets a ban there. We do see the Timbersaw getting a ban.
LS, very dangerous LS.
A Void? Do you think a Void would fit into Reckoning? I think they could maybe opt to go for the Void, but
maybe
Luna,
not. Maybe not. It'll be pretty fun to see a very weird combo coming in from Reckoning Esports, something unheard of. Like, for example, an IO is unseen in the current ESL
Correct.
scene. It'll be pretty fun to see. And they've gone ahead and banned who?
The Night Stalker.
Balanar is being banned.
An Earth Spirit, maybe? I'm very excited to see if they opt to
No,
go
I don't.
for
I suspect they will get an Earth Spirit. I'm pretty sure. I'll be very happy to see an Ember Spirit. An Ember Spirit, good escape, good damage build up.
But where would he fit into the draft? I mean, Ember is normally played mid.
Sure,
so,
but then the Flame Guard, everything. See, again, Ember Spirit has a very good magic damage also building up for him, apart from the pure damage he's been getting out. So a good build with an Ember Spirit will provide, according to me. I'm open to getting corrected here. Please do. I love getting corrected when it comes to Dota. So I believe Ember would help them do a very fast push, considering the fact that as soon as Ember gets his ultimate, it's not very easy to contain that guy in one space.
True, but as I see this draft pan out, wow, it's going to be a Void coming in from Reckoning Esports. I got to give myself props for that one. I really did not expect that. Yay! So I'm seeing Reckoning Esports complete a draft, and I see them taking all 5v5 fights. They don't really want to go and start scouting out Signify one by one, because experience plays a big role here. So if they are going to just stick together and take 5, I see Signify replying to this with a very big split pusher. And if they are going to see their mid lane, they could opt to go for Templar Assassin, but it's already an OD pickup, which is their 4th role still remaining. The Earth Spirit could be a good option for them. They also could use... Wow, there's so many heroes. Wraith King. I would have never expected that one. Is this in the meta? Have I missed out something from the meta?
No. This is Signify has gone ahead along with Reckoning Esports to not pick something from the meta except a couple of heroes. I mean, Gyros, we've seen a good Gyro, we've seen a good OD, we've seen a lot of Sand King, we've seen a lot of Witch Doctor. In fact, a couple of times I'm presuming Void also, once or twice. no IO, no Wraith King. This
Yeah.
is absolutely befuddling for a lot of people who
I
are
think
watching
they're
this.
just trying to have fun because they have played so seriously in the first 2-3 games
Yeah,
of the
I think
ESL.
they're going to take it easy.
They are
I
like,
think
all right,
this
you
is
know,
a-
it's time that we also take a game a little longer than expected. I'm hoping to see that Wraith King in the 4th role. I could also see that if the Void decides to go for a Chronosphere and even gets all 5 of Signify in a Chrono, which is the only thing Reckoning could opt for in this kind of scenario, we could see that the Wraith King coming back to life and having all the mana again to take the fight again.
All
and
right,
I
all
think that's
right.
what
So
they
let's
have in
head off
mind.
into the game and see what's in store for us. Dota 2, Reckoning Esports versus Signify.
Folks, and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. Another day and another new team to look out for as Reckoning Esports take on Signify. My name is Vivek. Joining me for today's broadcast is CloudX. We're going to see a 5-position Wraith King today.
Yeah, I mean, Crowley's going to be handling the Wraith King on the 5. I think they're going to switch it up a bit. I would expect Wisp to go on the hard 5 and then Crowley to take up a sort of 4-position role. But yeah, as I say that, Crowley started off with his own set of tangos. He's not pooling it to anyone. We're looking at no chance, starting with literally nothing. He wants those early bounty runes to pick up a first item bottle, which honestly seems like the sensible thing to do here. I'm not too familiar with Reckoning Esports. We were actually talking about this during the expert draft analysis that was going on the stream. About how Reckoning Esports has all new faces, and I'm quite excited to see what they've got up their sleeves here.
So, I think I've seen some of these names before. Zafito, Flamey definitely seem like familiar names. Not sure where I've seen them, possibly just in my friends list playing Party MMR with some of my most skilled friends, which is just basically everyone and anyone on my friends list. But yeah, I've definitely seen them before.
30 seconds.
I mean, Vagish is on your friend list, so I guess you have someone to help you
Vagish
out
isn't on my friends list.
Okay.
I made a new ID just to dodge him.
Alright. I mean, we've got a sort of slow start here. We're not seeing any early first blood attempts. I mean, bottom Crowley is just being a pest, dropping wards on the floor, trying to bait Sand King to come and mess with him. But yeah, like I was saying, that draft analysis though. My eardrums, I had to clean out the blood before we actually got into this game. But
ouch.
Yeah, we're on the way, up top.
What are we looking at up top? A little bit of action. Contest for the bounty runes coming up from Signify. They didn't get the bounty rune up top that they were trying to contest, but they did get their own.
Yeah. I like the start that Signify has gotten off to, because really they should have tried harder to contest the bounties on the side of Reckoning. You can't afford to give no chance that early bottle this, at least right from the get-go. I mean, it's sort of the Alchemist logic, right? When you're playing up against a Wisp that's come out of the lane basically naked, you know for a fact he's waiting for that early bottle pickup with the 2 bounty runes. If you can go and contest at least one of his, you get off to a decent start early on.
Yeah.
Because of that bottle pickup, Negi's just going to be spamming overwhelming odds time and again up on this top lane.
Yeah.
And since they can spam overwhelming odds, that's a guaranteed bottle replenish for no chance. Who's going to get either the enemy bounty rune or his.
Right.
Uh-oh.
No chance, so he's got to be careful. The Maledict not available to the Witch Doctor, but he's got the Tether, and he's still got ball charges to work with, even the Fairy Fire if need be. Fun change to Wisp in the last patch. Tether has no duration.
It's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. Oh, attempt on Wisp's life again. They just a coconut being thrown from long range, but
yeah, I like the Witch Doctor pickup. Good Varsity IO usually likes to stay close to a core or any one of his teammates, and the cask will keep pushing no chance behind.
You know, I'm not a fan of what Reckoning is doing here. You don't want to be running a dual lane versus such a powerful offensive dual lane. I think at this point you just sacrifice the lane, let the Void go farm, or at least survive on his own under his tower for whatever little time he can, and let Flamey go help at bottom lane or the middle lane. Because you're clearly falling further and further behind here on this top side. In fact, going for the kill on no chance. Negi, however, misses with the overwhelming odds on Flamey.
Yeah.
I really think you should be either committing with a full tri lane on your safe lane, or you just back off and leave the Void to his own devices, winning at least another lane on the bottom or the middle side.
They are approaching this correctly in the sense that, I mean, Flame is trying to contest the bounty runes, do
bottom lane.
The best he can down bottom though. The Sand King, he pops his Fairy Fire. He's trying to juke through the trees. Has the Burrow Strike. The Illuminate comes through. He pops his Sal. Crowley, so slow. Trying to stop the healing. And he will be successful. He's also going to TP out. The Burrow Strike barely coming off cooldown there.
A tad bit too late, but I think Signify are okay with that. Blizzard survives. They force the Cottle to show himself in the lane again, and they whiff on a Burrow Strike from the Sand King. So he's out of mana for now. He's gonna have to pop that Mango or wait for Zephyro to heal him up.
I think the plan here from Reckoning is that they can apply pressure down bottom, and they're going to try and contest Blizzard as much as possible. They understand that it's a ridiculously strong lane coming out from Signify.
Look at this top lane, man. It's ridiculous. Negi and No Chance have essentially taken up the enemy tower. Dot is in trouble. He doesn't have a time walk. He's dead. That's first blood. It should be Negi that gets it. Bottom though. They're going to return the favor on Blizzard. He's really low, making a run for it. Won't quite get away.
Good stuff coming up from Reckoning. I mean, this works as long as you're applying pressure. Action all across the map is up top. Negi and No Chance. Return the favor.
Again.
What the hell? They're trying to run down this Sand King. He hasn't got mana. He could buy the boots on the side shop, but he doesn't. Doesn't buy it in base either. Opts to complete the wand.
Not a fan of that move, because I mean, what are you trying to do here? You're relying on your wand charges to stack up with Wraith Fire Blast. I don't think that's gonna work.
Yeah. And I mean, Blizzard isn't even putting a single point into the Astral. Just prioritizing getting as much damage done as possible with that Arcane up. So, I mean, I did see some of Signify's games today in the Southeast Asia qualifier. They ran a safe lane OD, and Blizzard skipped the Astral altogether until like level 10 or something. But
I think that's fine. I mean, you could opt to go for the Arcane Orb build if you know for a fact that you're going to be playing very aggressive. Because Astral, once you pop the Astral, you've done a little bit of damage. That's it. You can't be useful in the fights anymore.
Speaking of aggression, I'm watching top when Dot drops low, ends up falling. Signify, sure they're losing the Wraith game, but they're finding the Void and they might find more. He with the cask will hold them back, but Negi has one charges, pops it, and No Chance with those Spirits of it.
This is so dirty. This is so dirty. I mean, I still think you sacrifice this lane. Void's probably gonna have to just go back there and try and stay alive throughout. I don't think the Witch Doctor needs to be there. He's not helping. He's really not helping him survive. He's only adding more gold to Negi's coffers. Dot again, just getting run down under his own tower here. They've just literally got to run at him and right click him.
Yep. I mean, the best thing that Reckoning could do right now is TP and more heroes. Flamey TP's in with the cask. Some of the damage reduced or shrugged off courtesy the time walk, but Negi, look at him. He's just right click onto the Witch Doctor. He's dominating 5 minutes in. He's got his face boots, has pressed the attack to keep his IO going, and he's going to chase for more. Dot does have the time walk, has 9-1 charges, No Chance on point with his positioning, but they still
go back to bottom
more.
though.
Okay, action all across the map as the Sand King, I think he's going to end up falling. He popped his one charges, Crowley's there with that
top.
last auto attack up top. Negi finally ends up falling. Dot gets himself the kill. But he gets credit for the kill. No Chance is dropping as well. I need goddamn multicam for this game and Signify. They're chasing the Keeper of the Light down bottom. But
what is even happening here? Zephyro, he's going to get away, but here comes world favorite. I don't think he's going to be able to get a return kill on Blizzard. It'd be stupid if Blizzard just stands around and dies there, knowing that the Sand King's walking up to him for a kill.
Yeah,
Blizzard is calling out a set of boots and a set of... well, he's calling out the boots and a set of tangos for himself, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. You got to be careful, Blizzard. He's going to get it with the Burrow Strike. I don't know if this is such a good idea of going
He doesn't have a wand, doesn't have Astral, but he's got the boots.
I think if the Sand King managed to get one auto attack on the range creep behind and then it died with the Sandstorm, they might have got the kill on Blizzard.
Yeah.
Now they're just going to rely on Crowley, who picked up 1 point in the Vampiric Aura to help Blizzard get his HP back. This is next level.
Amidst all of this is one lane we haven't taken a look at, and that's the mid lane, where both heroes seem to be drawing even. The Net Profit keeping up in terms of net worth with the Gyrocopter. And up top, Negi trying to force out Time Walk again. No Chance. He's left Negi for once, and this should allow the Void to catch up.
This is a really scary Legion commander at this point. I mean, it's a solo kill on Flamey if he sticks around on the side for too long. That's phase boots along with that Blightstone. It's just an absurd amount of damage coming up.
Yeah,
bottom.
Down bottom. They've got the Burrow. The Illuminate not available. Crowley has the Wraithfire, Blast, and Sand King without the Sandstorm will not survive.
He goes down. Meanwhile, on the middle lane, Swifty somehow managed to send the Death Prophet back as well. Now gonna TP back. She actually TP's up top. They're gonna chrono for the Legion commander. Everything, including the kitchen sink, being thrown at him, but no chance. Doing his best to try and keep him alive. It won't be enough. In fact, no chance is gonna go down here as well.
Yeah, he looks to TP, but Dot has the damage, gets the kill. Mid lane, Sand King. I mean, he's the one who was being helped out by the Keeper of the Light, but he's nowhere close to the Legion commander in terms of net worth. Heck, he's behind, no chance.
Got TP's coming out towards the top lane, and the exorcism is going to wear off soon. In fact, look at Legion just TPing right out there. Duels available and will be committed. Can they secure the kill though? They're going to get the stun, they'll get the victory too.
I think Negi's going to be okay. The Maledict will not be enough. Crowley's going to be careful though. Doesn't have the reincarnation, but no chances here. And Signify, they're chasing forward. I mean, without the duel, I'm not sure they get this kill, but Negi doesn't give a damn. Has pressed the attack, switches targets, moves forward for Flamey. Flamey does have the boots, but no chance. Has the spirits, and Flamey might just end up falling. The courier
this is so
walks past the gang, sees the body of the Witch Doctor, and Dot is here. Doesn't have the Chronosphere. Signify sitting between a tier 1 and a tier 2. A Legion commander and an IO. Possibly pushing.
Look at the healing. Just look at the healing on Negi. He refuses to die.
Yeah, I mean,
no chance. Tether up. Heals himself with an urn. Pops some wand charges as well.
Yeah, they did lose the Keeper of the Light as well. The Reckoning are losing heroes all across the map. They caught out Crowley though, and Crowley doesn't have the reincarnation. That's his killing spree taken away. No chance. The medic wasn't there to keep his Wraith King alive, but Swifty's here. He's got the call down. He's got the homing missile. And he's going to force Sand King to Burrow Strike up into the high ground. The Shrine not active. Reckoning, they're being pushed back towards their tier 2 towers just 9 minutes and 51 seconds in. Negi has pressed the attack, doesn't have detection. He's just going to watch though.
Middle lane, Crowley running up to the Death Prophet. I think the only drawback here for Signify is, despite all the kills and clearly the absurd amount of fun that they're having, they haven't managed to take a single tier 1 tower. So there's still the possibility of Reckoning TPing in with a Chronosphere and counter ganking. But that still doesn't explain why Dot has 3 TP scrolls on a Void that's already super starved.
I don't know. I mean, is he like trying to spend his reliable gold before he dies on TPs? I'm not sure.
I guess that's probably the only explanation for it.
Somewhat good news for Reckoning is that the Keeper of the Light is finding farm to some extent.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how much it's gonna matter, because you're getting Signify is going for all these early game items, right? These early mid game domination items, and one thing that I kind of agree with.
Up top, duel onto Dot on his tier 1. He's gonna survive.
Yeah, but look at Cottle.
Back to the Cottle. He's being chased 50, commits the call down, doesn't find the kill.
Honestly, this is the best play Reckoning Esports has made all game.
Absolutely.
The Feto has just taken Swifty on a wild goose chase, and
while
he's definitely gonna die, he's also taken Wraith King along now. That's a lot of time wasted on Swifty.
50 badly wanted the kill up top. Negi finds another. ESL TPs and has the exorcism. They'll bring down Negi. They might find no chance. No chance looking to TP. The death bot coming through, but Flamey didn't have the vision.
That was unfortunate. That was very unfortunate.
3 ultimates committed. They did find the Legion commander. If they find a tier 1 tower with it, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, Signify have taken this game too lightly in the early game. You can tell that they're not playing too seriously. Swifty would never have gone for that chase on a Keeper of the Light.
Blizzard TP's in. He's gathering up the 12 stacks of stolen intelligence. Giving chase, doesn't have the Astral, but Negi's here with the blink. He's got the duel. Gets the movement speed with the overwhelming odds. No chance. Should help him out if need be, but Negi's okay. He's found Flamey. Finds the Witch Doctor. Dot. Picks up a bounty rune, but look at mid. Swifty and Crowley. Chasing down the Keeper of the Light.
2 peas in a pod. Okay, they're gonna loop all the way around. The call down will connect. The Fetter will die. And this time it was actually worth it.
I mean, I don't know. I think MVP would be proud if they saw this game.
You know, I still don't think Signify are out of the waters just yet. It's only a 2,000 net worth lead going in their favor 12 minutes in, and Reckoning are slowly starting to get closer and closer to some of their important items. I was just about to see the blink of the Sand King, but Sand King is dead.
Yeah. I think Reckoning aren't doing too bad actually. I mean, you see Signify die, but Reckoning haven't lost their lanes off lead. The Void still doing well in terms of net worth. I think the mid game isn't going to be a walk in the park for Signify.
I don't know, man. I think it very well could be. A lot's riding on the Sand King to get his Blink Dagger online before the tier 2 tower push.
That's what they gotta prioritize. And mid, Negi press the attack onto Blizzard, duel onto ASC. The task is there, along with the Death Ward. Reckoning looking to turn. They lose the Death Prophet. They get Negi, but there's Blizzard. Drops the hammer, gets himself a double. Flamey and Safito both end up falling, and down bottom Signify they're hunting for the Sand King. The homing missile to get things started. Crowley just walks in, has the Wraith Fire Blast if need be, will throw it out. He's holding on to it. Yeah, can throw it out now. And with the spirits,
stun, you get it.
The Wraith Fire Blast is damage over time, and they had an own charge as well coming up from no chance.
Here comes Void with the Chronosphere available, but he just doesn't have the damage to bring them down. Crowley, he's even got the Reincarnation, so you probably don't want to commit a Chronosphere on the Wraith King like this. Dot. Got a homing missile upon him, but the cavalry has arrived, and Exorcism is there as well.
Yeah, they're going to try and bring down Swifty. The Chronosphere not coming out. Dot searching for someone to chrono. Now, the question is, do you really want to chrono a 5 position Void? Negi just chilling by the haste rune. Dot. I mean, a 5 position Wraith King. My bad.
Well, they're gonna get the tier 1 tower on them. But okay, they're not even gonna get that actually, because Signify are coming in.
Look at Crowley, drops an item, Negi gets the duel, it's on to the Void. The question is, do they have enough damage? They've lost Crowley, the Reincarnation not coming through in the nick of time, and Dot turns! He gets the Kronos here, AHT with the Gripsoft, gets himself a double and no chance. Looking to run, has only Blizzard to back him up, but the Sand King with the Burrow controls the IO, gets that kill while Blizzard. He's got to tuck tail and run, he pops the drum charge, will manage to get away.
Wrecked by Reckoning. There's the Power Strike. I think they're actually going to get this kill as well. Buyback from the Wisp. He's trying desperately to save his OD here.
I don't think he is healing him up. Blizzard doesn't have the Sanity's Eclipse. He's dropping low, no chance, trying to do his best. 3 seconds until the relocate comes back up, but no chance will not be able to keep his OD alive. Crowley's here, hash detection, should find the Sand King. It's gonna delay his blink. He's just 150 gold away from it. The Sand King will fall while Negi catches AHD with the duel.
Yeah, 20, get the kill.
20 duel victory damage. They won 5 in the duel win, but they'll get the kill. And that's a dominating streak taken away.
I think Reckoning overdid it. They should probably just let Blizzard go away from that fight and then instead use the time to push 2 lanes and farm. They had it. I mean, there was a moment where they could have made a comeback there, but I think they just threw it away. It's unfortunate. Because when a team like Signify takes you lightly and you find that one mistake that they've made and punish them for it, you can't go back and make a mistake of your own immediately after. No chance bought back. It was tempting to try and fight with just a Wisp on the battlefield, but you gotta remember, 16 minutes in, when everyone is just skirting around level 6 to level 8, respawn times are ridiculously low, TPs are cheap as hell, and towers are still available. They're gonna come back and fight you. And I think that sort of served as a wake-up call for Signify, that if they were facing a team with more experience and more discipline, that would have been the moment that they knew they screwed up. Anyway, top lane Signify. Crowley leading the charge. They have the Reincarnation available on Crowley. I guess it didn't trigger the last time on the bottom lane?
Yeah, I think he was out of mana.
Yeah, possibly. The Fetter also doesn't have a single point in mana leak, by the way, so I think it could have been fairly useful versus the IO and the the IO and the Legion Commander, especially if they ran it in the early game, right? I mean, you throw the mana leak onto the Legion Commander, who's basically running at you and running around you on the top lane, take away his mana, and maybe you can control the lane to the Void to farm a bit. Unfortunately, that's not what they chose to run in the they chose to run a dual lane instead, and that's clearly not working out for them, or rather, it didn't work out for them.
Signify aren't doing too well in terms of vision. They've just got this one Radiant Observer board looking at the bottom tier 2. But yeah, the Reckoning see a lot more of the map, and Signify, they are playing blind. I mean, Negi...
So one of the problems here is... So Signify are always fighting. Okay,
top lane, the duel coming out, but the Chrono's there from Dot that's going to negate the duel. But Blizzard, outside the Chrono, tries to bring down Zafito, finds the kill. They bring down the Cotton, they've lost the IO, they're looking for more. They bring down the Windstalker as well. ASD Spit Siphon on to do Exorcism, trying to hold his ground and turn it around. But Dot, without the Chrono Sphere, can only pound away. Procs the bash, but Blizzard is there with the Eclipse, will find one. But that's his killing spree taken away as well as Sand King with the Power Strike turns it around. Negi drops the overwhelming odds, will end up falling to the Exorcism. But Crowley, with that one last auto attack, will manage to bring down the Death Prophet back and forth.
That wasn't really terrible for Reckoning. They managed to kill off 4 or rather 3 on the side of Signify. They put the Reincarnation on cooldown for about 180 seconds. They actually got the gold advantage after that fight. It's probably going to go back in favor of Signify after they take this tier 2 tower on the top lane, but I guess it's as good as it could have gone for them.
Yeah. They are going to try and punish Crowley here. Now, the Power Strike is available. Zafito is bringing in a teammate, I think. No? Okay, they're just going to borrow Epi. No blinding light. And no kill for them.
That's painful to watch. Another thing I don't agree with on the side of Reckoning is the hood pickup on the Death Prophet. On one hand, it works versus Swifty, who drops a call down and runs at you with a rocket barrage. But on the other hand, OD really doesn't care. He's got pure damage for the most part, beats the hell out of you. You've got the Wraith King who's enabling that Legion Commander to dish out more physical damage. And
oh, they've got Flamey.
Flamey goes down.
Yep, I agree with you. I mean, I see why he built it, but I'd much rather see a Yule Scepter, which he has picked up. It's going to be good versus the Legion.
Oh yeah. I think that's what he should have done in the first place. You should have gone for the Yules first. Having that extra control versus both the OD and the Legion Commander for that matter is always a nice thing to have in your arsenal. One thing I want to point out is that while Signify may be taking the game lightly, I don't think they took the draft lightly at all. You could clearly see them banning heroes like the Razor and then picking up the Gyrocopter. So it's almost as if these tried and tested strategies have just been ingrained into their system to the point where they don't even need to think about it. It just happens by default.
Oh, you look at up top. Dot finds the IO. 50 will chase. Doesn't have drum charges, but he is running into the Dire Shrine and 50. There's a little bit of discretion and backs off.
But I think Dot committing the Chronosphere even for the Wisp there is totally legit. At this point, you take what you can get and make as much space as possible.
They might find Blizzard. Duel coming up from Negi onto the Sand King. Where's the damage? The Blinding Light pushes them back. The net bot does a ton of work. Blizzard dropping low, controlled by the Silence, will end up falling, and Dot is here. They turned it around. They bought down the Legion Commander as well.
Fantastic stuff coming out from Reckoning there. Knowing that they have the numbers advantage with the Wisp down and out, with the Exorcism at the ready, they commit bottom, find a successful fight, and will now push forward for a tier 1. The fact that OD doesn't have a PKD means that one silence from the Death Prophet essentially renders him useless for the most part.
Yeah, Blizzard was silenced and controlled then. I mean, whatever the outcome of this match is, Reckoning should know that they played really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, look at the net worth right now. You've got the Gyro sitting on top with the Sanjanyasha and drum, so he's mobile and he's dishing out a fair bit of magic damage, but it's not enough physical DPS. You've got the Death Prophet who's creeping up close to the Gyrocopter, second only by the Void, both Dire heroes. They've also picked up a Shadow Blade now on Dot, so he can go about creating space and finding those initiations.
Yeah.
And I don't think Signify are prepared for this at all. I don't see sentry wards on any of the supports in Signify. They have a dust on the
Crowley.
On Crowley. But yeah, that's not going to help you when Dot comes creeping up to you with the Shadow Blade.
Have you clicked on the IO?
Just no chance things.
So I mean, there's a very different no chance when he doesn't take his opposition seriously. I mean, I've seen him play Kunkka, and there was this point in time where he and Pasol would often play Kunkka and Shadow Demon or Kunkka +1. No Chance would always just skip Torrent, maybe max Torrent, not max X marks the spot, and just max Tidebringer, try and farm that Daedalus. He's doing one of those. I don't know where he's fighting his farm from. But yeah.
Signify again just covering their bases before taking the flush, but unfortunately it's too slow. And
it is. He links forward, looks for the duel, gets used by the Dead Prophet. The silence is there. They should try and focus Negi, but they don't. Call down coming through. Dead Ward doing a fair bit of work. Flamey still channeling the Dead Ward. Blizzard forced to Astral himself. Crowley, his reincarnation triggered, might have to come back in, but not with the Chrono. He's got the OD. He's stopping a fair amount of damage. The epicenter exclusively on a No Chance. They'll bring down the medic, but they've lost the Void. Crowley trying to man fight ASD. He did end up falling for the duration of the duel, and he's just going to run away. Press the attack. Making sure that Blizzard's healthy. Quick silence coming out from the Dead Prophet, but he's going to end up falling as well. Reckoning. They try to contest our shot, but they are going to lose multiple cores here as Crowley with the Wraithfire Blast finds the kill.
Man, that looked like Reckoning were going to turn it around. I was honestly, I had my jaw open for a long time because Flamey found the most cozy spot to channel that Death Ward from. No one could stop it, no one could get close to him. Crowley even threw his body out front to try and slow them down with reincarnation so that Blizzard could go in and pound, but because of the Death Ward was rather standing as a Lakshman Rekha, he couldn't go past. Then, unfortunately, you had Sand King going in with an exclusive epicenter for an IO instead of going on to a Chronosphere low HP OD. That was a kill on OD right there, and that could have been the turning point of that entire fight had they just taken Blizzard out before the Chronosphere ended. Unfortunately, one small decision from the Sand King kind of tilted the odds back in Signify's favor and forced them back.
You can see why he went on the IO as well, but come on, if you go on the course and the IO says one, it's maybe not worth it. I don't know.
I guess, but I mean, Signify are not out of clear water. I mean, they're not out of muddy waters just yet. You've got an Aghanims picked up on the Keeper of the Light, so now you've got that extra vision coming out for better initiations from Reckoning, let alone the heals coming out from the Illuminate. I think Reckoning should try and put this to use, maybe even pick up a gem and go de-warding across their side.
Absolutely. I'd like to see them do that. Coddle wants to complete his 4-star before picking up that gem.
Yeah. As for Blizzard, he chose to pick up the Blink Dagger instead of a BKB, so he's got a lot of mobility. Unfortunately, one silence tagging him still means the end of his, well, usefulness for a few seconds at least. However, to compensate, you've got Gyro who's picked up a BKB of his own. How's Dot looking right now? Going for the Lincolns on the Void? I guess it's alright, right? I mean, you're gonna have some way to deal with the initiation coming out from Signify.
Sand King blinked into Swifty's face and uled himself. That's what I think happened, because Swifty didn't have a Yule Sept and Sand King was up in the air. Anyway, Signify, they're grouping up, they're pushing down bottom, they've got Aegis. Problem is they are pushing into a Keeper of the Light, and that won't be easy. Negi though, he might get caught out. He does have the Blade Mail. IO though with the save. Keeps his Legion Commander alive. AHD runs forward with the Exorcism. Swifty pushed up into the high ground. The Death Ward coming out from Flamey. Swifty has no choice but to fight, and fight he will as he brings down the Death Prophet. He's dropping ridiculously low. Then focus Flamey, they'll bring him down. Sand King with the epicenter helping bring down the OD, but Swifty respawns once again on the high ground. Sand King up in the air with the Yules. Dot has got to be careful. The duel is there. He's getting healed up, but this is not a fight he can win as Dot on the Void ends up falling as well. I mean,
pissed. Well, that was. I think they could have. Never mind. I mean, I don't think they could have won that fight either way. Swifty was just too strong, and with the vision coming out from the high ground and the flak cannon still connecting because of the fact that Death Prophet is basically next to him, he got most of his damage in that fight. No one on the side of Signify ended up dying except for OD. OD, I think it was worthwhile for him to die in exchange for a full team wipe on Reckoning. However, they did take the Aegis away. And did waste some of his time. High ground hasn't been reached just yet. I guess that's something that Reckoning can be proud of.
It is daytime for a minute. I'd like to see them find a quick pick-up.
The biggest issue is Reckoning aren't really progressing in terms of damage output. I mean, most of that net worth going back in their favor has gone to the Kotl.
Oh, they've got Negi. Quick Yule Scepter coming out from the Sand King. Bow Strike as well. So Feeder's there with the Illuminate. They'll find the Legion Commander.
Yeah, no relocate available either, so no chance, can't quite go in and save his buddy. You can see them chasing hard.
Oh, they're chasing. They've got Swifty. Swifty does have his PKB. The Sand King Yule Scepter on cooldown. They might find the IO. No chance in the trees. The cask is there.
Okay, I don't think the death ward was necessary. But yeah, it's a kill nonetheless. That's both the Wisp and the Legion Commander down for a decent amount of time.
Signify, they've got buyback.
Will they really buy back for a tier 2 tower though?
Nah, I don't think they should.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think they probably forfeit it.
Especially because Blizzard doesn't have a TP available on him either, so they're gonna have to walk all the way back. Crowley just doesn't care. He's farming the jungle, saying, "You guys messed up. Come back and defend it on high ground now."
Dot. Okay, so Dot skirted past the tier 2. He did have the Chronosphere. He sees 50, but he's scared. The Legion Commander has respawned. Crowley being controlled by that Mana Leak. Dot still lurking on the back lines, but the duel is there. They've got one, but the duel cancelled. Wait, I'm not sure what's going on. Negi, either way, controlled by the Bow Strike, will end up falling. Swifty chasing for Yule Scepter coming out from the Dead Prophet, but Zafito will fall. AHD all by himself, and Swifty's knocking him down. There's the Chronosphere, the damage coming out from the Exorcism, and the Epicenter. But the relocate saves them all. There's no chance. Takes one with him. Blizzard comes into the fight, and he probably shouldn't have. He's down for 72 seconds. Dot with these Chronospheres, man.
Loving it. Reckoning have found their groove here. I mean, as long as these three heroes are alive in a fight, Signify are never out of danger. You got the Chronosphere on top of an Exorcism in an isolated spot, and then you had an Epicenter coming up from the side.
They saw Crowley. That ward paid off. Crowley does have the reincarnation. He's probably going to just respawn and die again. Does drop the Spit Vessel onto AHD. No chance. Doesn't have the relocate. No chance. Farming the Dark Troll Summoner. Trying to complete his Heart of Taraskin. Wait, what? Reckoning they chase?
I feel like they're throwing again. Okay, yeah, that's the good call. I think they really needed to get the hell out of there. They got what they came for. They got more than they could have asked for with a kill on the OD, the Gyro, as well as the Legion Commander. You go back, you farm, you get the map control back, and then you try and fight again. I don't think you try and keep going at it. They got a bonus in the form of Crowley's reincarnation being taken away, but I still think it's time for them to pop a smoke. I mean, daytime kicks in about 2 minutes. Probably smoke up then and go hunting again.
Yep.
But that's of course after you push out the lanes. Signify, they're probably going to wise up to the fact that fighting in isolation is a bad move for them. They've also realized that OD really needs that BKB. The Think Tag is not adding too much value to him. Once the BKB is online on the OD, they should be in a much better position to take fights versus Reckoning. But how's the item progression coming along on the rest of Reckoning's scores? I mean, Death Prophet's getting super tanky. She's picked up the Solar Crest and is going for a BKB of her own, while Void, Trinket Sphere still on the cards. Unfortunately, that won't add too much in the DPS department. Okay, Dot, providing some valuable intel there, breaking smokes as well.
Oh, they popped the dust. Oh, no. He looks for the duel. Dot moves up. The Blinding Light buys time. The Bow Strike off the box. They've lost the Void. Sand King hiding in the sand. Somebody AHD nowhere to hide. Is being chased by Swifty. The Rocket Barrage doing a fair amount of work. AHD will fall. Blizzard gets himself a double.
What the hell kind of a throw was that?
Time Walk. I mean, he misplayed Time Walk, and Blizzard, knowing that both the Void and the DP are down, will just run down the sports on the side of Reckoning. Signify knocking on high ground here. Swifty takes down the tier 2 with mid. Buybacks coming out from Reckoning. They've got the Chronosphere. They've got the Exorcism, but do they want to buy back for this tier 3 tower?
I mean, you give Signify an inch and they're going to take a mile here. They've basically gone in, forced out a buyback, looking for kills and going to take a tier 3 tower before going back home.
Blizzard has 44 stolen in.
That hammer's going to hurt, man. It's also a level 3 sanity flip, so
yep.
It's pretty much instant delete on the Sand King.
Look at this. Blizzard goes in, drops the hammer. Zafito survives, Sand King survives as well, but the Witch Doctor not so lucky.
Man, that was so unfortunate. Void even had buyback there. So did the DP. I'm kind of surprised they didn't commit it.
I think they're okay with giving up. Oh, Negi. He was waiting for the Void, wanted to duel him. Dot did get away with the time walk, and now they look to punish. The Burrow's there. They've controlled Negi. Quick press the attack to strike it off the Chronosphere.
No.
Catching two, but the duel on point. They've got the void, the epicenter. It barely tickles at this point. Negi down to 300 points of health, still hangs around. They find the kill on the Sand King. ASD with the exorcism trying to get something done. Crowley doesn't have the reincarnation. He does, in fact, and he's going to respawn once more. Blizzard stealing in by the heaps. They want to bring down the Dead Prophet. They've got the Spit Vessel, which will be dispelled with the Yules. But ASD has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The Burrow buys time, and he's actually healing up. They did manage to bring down Blizzard and the OD, and ASD is turning things around. Crowley will finally fall. That's his mega kill streak taken away. And Signify, they're possibly overextended a bit too much here.
Again though, the Void missing the Legion Commander with the Chronosphere. He went for the 3-man Chrono, ended up getting 2 behind, but the one that mattered didn't go inside. Really unfortunate there. And, I mean, he got dueled, he got taken down. There was a blinding light somewhere in the mix as well, which delayed the Void's death, but he died nonetheless.
Yeah, a blinding light wasn't enough. I mean, I think Swifty popped his BKB. Either way, he just ran in and did more than enough damage to bring down the Void.
The DD rune in the river though. They're probably going to give it over to the Void after he respawns, and then maybe they're going to try and find another pick-off. I mean, Chronosphere's back in 30 seconds.
Yeah, Dot, he's done a decent job of... I mean, for the first 15 to 18 minutes, he kept the farm going, but he has started to fall off here.
This seems like a mistake.
Well, mid lane, they've got the duel. It is on Zafito. You want Keeper of the Light providing vision around the pit when you're going Roshan in the daytime. But Keeper down. I think that was the relocate coming after him. No chance.
Uh-oh. Swifty moving up towards the pit. Goes, picks up the Arcane
Oh,
Rune.
Swifty has the Arcane
man.
Rune. Doesn't need it. Gots has the call down. Dot dropping low. The epicenter comes through. Negi copying most of the damage from the epicenter. Doesn't end up falling. The Chronosphere is there. It's on to Blizzard, on to Swifty, and Negi, the dead bot, doing a fair amount of work on his Swifty, but press the attack. Keeps him alive. Blizzard with the BKB, just manning up here. Quick Burrow Strike on his Swifty. Swifty still not dropping. Has the butterfly in his goddamn tanky. Sand King tries to hide under the sandstorm, will not be successful. Signify the lost Negi. They found the Sand King. They're looking for more. Reincarnation available on a Crowley. And Signify. The question is, do their codes want to go back in? Blizzard has the Eclipse. 40 stolen intelligence. You'll set to controlling him. Dot without the Chronosphere, pushed back by the Hurricane Pike, will have the time walk to get away. ASD though not so fortunate, controlled by the Wraith Fire Blast, will end up falling in the Eclipse, exclusively for Void. Dot still has the time walk, the Shadow Blade keeping him alive, but not for long, no chances there. He's got the gem, and Swifty moves into the pitway, bumps into Keeper of the Light, who's being controlled by the Astral. Got the Illuminate heal, no, but it won't come together.
My god, that was just a symphony of fails coming out. Swifty, for starters, refused to die. Threw everything. They threw everything at him. Void managed to get the Chronosphere off on the OD. Did a fair bit of damage, but again, it wasn't enough. Blizzard mans up. Recognizes the fact that Charlie's next to him, so the Vampire Aura is going to kick in, and he just starts right-clicking with the BKB active. And slowly but surely, the entirety of Signify just healed up throughout that fight and fought back. It's also unfortunate that the Void ended up getting picked off right at the end there, courtesy no chance in the gem. This is going to be a second lane of barracks. There's
Okay,
no buybacks except for
this
the
is the item we've been waiting for. No chance with the heart. And Crowley with his minions.
What is this? The person he tethers to is just going to be perma healed now. He's not even going to have to use anything.
Exactly. All No Chance has to do is stay far away and get the tether going. I mean, Signify, they could be nice. They could try and take down the tier 3 bottom. But they're like, no, we want to fight you. We want to see what No Chance does with that heart of his.
He's also going to get the Aghanim's upgrade. I mean, he's already been getting it, the Aghanim's upgrade every time they do.
Flamey dropping low, has the Glimmer Cape. There's no chance with the heart. Dot gets the Chronosphere. Controlling Negi and ASD. That's ASD's BKB not doing too much. They lost Flamey, courtesy the call down in the Flak Cannon. ASD running back to his own fountain. Dot will not be able to make it back home. Epicenter being channeled in the fountain. Reckoning still have a fight in them. The Deafening Blast pushes back Crowley, or rather the Blinding Light in fact, but Reckoning, they're tapped out. GG is the call. No chance. He's done his Dota Plus quest for the day.
Oh man, that was a fun game though. I think Reckoning put on a hell of a show here. They put on a bit of a fight. I don't want to take anything away from Reckoning, but it was pretty evident that Signify was mucking around for the most part. However, huge props to Reckoning for at least trying to take something off of Signify. Is this the longest anyone has lasted versus Signify?
So far, yes.
Okay, good stuff, Reckoning. That's a start.
I mean, yeah, this is longer than the ROG Titans earlier on today in the Open qualifiers. But I mean, there are multiple factors at play. Either way, Reckoning, they drew even in the lanes, and I think that's probably the most respectable thing to come out of this game from them. Phenomenal Dota coming out from them. An absolute treat to watch. Can't wait to hear what the panel says about this. But before we hand it over to them, why don't we just plug in a little bit of our own social medias here? CloudX, where can we find you?
I'm at facebook.com/TheRealCloudX and at Twitter/TheRealCloudX.
I'm at facebook.com/VWayCasting. You're watching the ESL India Premiership. Do hit the subscribe button. The CSGO, Dota 2 and Clash Royale every day of the week. And I'm going to hand it over to our panel. Vagish and Angela, love to hear your thoughts on this game.
Well, everybody, welcome back to the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League, brought to you by Omen, by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented to you by ESL and Nodwin Gaming. Now, what we just witnessed was a typical example of how a tiger eats their food. Now, let us take you through this very, very interesting, how would I say, methodology which big cats, the big felines, employ while they eat their food. It's a good lesson for everybody using examples of Dota 2. You see, what happens is there's a tiger. What happens is the tiger goes to the food. Then when the food tries to run away, the tiger tries to cover the distance, be at it, look, acha theek hai, I'm chasing you. And then the tiger realizes after catching up with the food, hey, I've ran, let's play a bit with the food. So they toy around. They do like dish, 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 and they toy around with their food, and then they eat them. That's what this game was. Signify versus Reckoning Esports went in Signify's favor. Absolutely a delight to see this kind of a gameplay coming from Signify, although not much of a competition in in its true essence, but a lot of learning lessons for Reckoning Esports. In fact, I believe the first part of the game, the first half of the game, was indefinitely they made it so that they could say, okay, yeah, we're at par with Signify, but slowly and steadily, when you saw the tides of the game change, you could definitely believe that you are in the presence of a lion or a tiger you don't want to be around. Well, this was Dota 2 for you guys in today's edition of the ESL India Premiership. We'll be back again tomorrow with more CR, CSGO and Dota 2. But for now, this is me, Vagish Godslayer Bhan, signing off with the promise that we'll be again tomorrow right here at the same time we come to you every day. Cheers.